Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Tech Guy is provided by CacheFly. CacheFly.com. Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. The show originally aired on the Premier Radio Networks on Sunday, November 3rd, 2013. This is episode 1028. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by Stamps.com. Use Stamps.com to buy and print real U.S. postage the instant you need it, right from your desk. For our special offer, visit Stamps.com now, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter Tech Guy. And by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out what your used iPhone, iPad, or other Apple product is worth at Gazelle.com. Well, hey, how are you today? You're here. That's great, unless you thought this was going to be the cooking show. In which case, sorry, we sprung something on you. We set the clocks back last night, right? Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy. 8888 Ask Leo. So this is something that used to be a big deal. You know, you had to remember and go around, and you had those analog clocks. These days, I don't think we do it as we worry as much, do we? The computers all know, right? Tablets seem to know. The iPhone and all your different cell phones, they all seem to know. Did you have to set anything at all,
I did it
Heather?
just to be, anal.
Microwave ovens and cooking ovens. You actually set your iPhone? No.
No, I mean, I knew it would take care of me. It's like, okay, if I can't rely on myself, at least I can rely on you, iPhone.
We're talking about setting the clock back because it was, fall back. But I'm thinking even so I have a bedside alarm clock radio, but it's, it's one of those Grace Internet connected radios. So it set the time automatically. It set it back. In my car, I got in my car, and this surprised me because the car has an analog clock, which is a real throwback, and it was correct when I got in. That's pretty smart. I think everything is just kind of automatically sets itself these days. John, did you fix this clock, our big clock in here? I bet he did.
Is that the atomic clock?
Well, this clock, is this clock atomic? No. So you had to set that. So.
And we put that one in the window.
Everybody should have a John. And then what we do is I have in my house, well, everybody should have a John, but I mean John Slanina. But I have in my house all atomic clocks, radio control clocks, right? So for the most part, that works pretty well. But if they're not near a window, like this radio clock here that's behind me, we put that, John puts it in the window and presses the button. And because it can't set itself inside the studio, I guess. It's too distant from the radio signals. So, yeah, but then it sets itself. And all my house clocks set themselves. So I guess nowadays it's missing stuff because it's not as good an excuse as it used to be. You don't have a phone, you don't have a tablet, you don't have a computer.
I had to manually turn daylight saving time off on this.
Oh, our that's interesting. And our very, very fancy digital Axia audio control panel. Did it automatically?
No, I had to turn
You
off
changed one. Oh, you turned off daylight savings time and then handle it. Nowadays, because of GPS has to be hyper accurate. In order for it to work, it has to have a very, very good clock in the GPS. I think in the satellite, right? Not the receiving unit. But that means your car can and your phone and everything else can always go out and check the GPS if nothing else. Lars in Michigan says, my clock on my car radio was right this morning, but only because it's been wrong for 8 months. If you forget to set it for daylight saving time, John comes in here and yells at me if I say daylight saving time, then it'll be fine when the time change comes. It is confusing. And then, of course, Chris Marquardt, for instance, who's our photo guy, he lives in Germany, where they set their clocks back like last week. Because remember we changed the rules a few years ago? So confusing. So he was, saying, is it 11? Is it time? Yes, it is, Chris. It's a stupid rule, and I can't wait to get rid of it. But in the meantime, thank goodness for technology. Speaking of stupid rules we don't have to pay attention to anymore, the FAA has now decided you can now keep your gadget on during takeoff and landing, gate to gate. You know how they tell you that when you get on an airplane as the door closes, all right, turn everything off until you hear the bong bong at 10,000 feet, and then and only then you can turn your stuff back on. Well, that's done. FAA convened a committee. Two of the members of the committee were Delta Airlines and JetBlue. And I think what was happening is that people were getting mad and they were harassing the carriers. And the carriers finally said, all right, we better do something about it. Now, they do. I think this is to save face, but they do say, well, we have specially shielded our electronics on the plane. We didn't have that before, but now we do. And planes do have to be certified by the Federal Aviation Administration before they can allow you to keep your phone on or your Kindle. Although, as many labs have attested, the Kindle puts out nothing. The Kindle is absolutely not likely in any way to interfere with anything, avionics or anything else. And after all, don't pilots now carry iPads right into the cockpit there, right next to the avionics? Oh, but they say, but that's just one iPad. What if you had all 200 passengers turn their iPad on? Nothing. Anyway, JetBlue and Delta turned it on immediately. The two members of the committee, they knew it was coming, and they got their planes certified. Every other airline expected to comply by the end of the month. Now, I've asked, we have many airline pilots listen to this show, a lot of captains. And they're, I've asked them, and they said, well, there's been stories. You don't want to be the one person that turned on your Kindle and the plane suddenly went down. That would be not so good. And I think they would say this. It's true that while the FAA and the airlines get to set policy, ultimately the captain of the plane gets to do whatever he or she wants. So if she says, I am not allowing iPads on my flight to be turned on, then they're not. They did not, and this is probably a relief to everybody, allow cell phones. You still have to turn your cell phone off. You put it in flight mode, but you can't leave it on, and you can't make calls or text during the flight. And there's actually, I don't think that necessarily has to do with avionics. That has to do with the fact that when you are using a cell phone, the way cell works, the name cell tells you, is it hands you off from cell to cell as you drive down the road. You know that, and sometimes you'll drop a call. That's when you drop calls, is when you kind of get during the handoff. Well, that's fine at 60 miles an hour down a highway and the cells are several miles apart. But when you're flying 10 times that speed, the handoffs would occur very rapidly. And it's my understanding that this is actually a technical issue for the cell carriers. They don't want people trying to do that on a plane. Cell phones do work on a plane. We know that. You know how we know? 9/11. People were making cell phone calls from the planes. So they do work. But because I don't want to sit next to some guy. And we were talking about this yesterday with Johnny Jet. Everybody, for some reason, when you're on a cell phone, you talk loud. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but every time I hear somebody on a cell phone, it's the most inane garbage. The worst thing is a businessman who's kind of showing off. Yeah, make sure they sign those waivers because we want to make... It's just like, I don't want to hear that. Go be pompous somewhere else. Go in the bathroom and be pompous. Don't do it. Don't do it next to me. So that's good news. No cell phones ever, but you do now gate to gate. See, I think a lot of people also are nervous flyers. And so having the ability to read a magazine, see, I carry a paper magazine on a flight just so I have something to leaf through on the takeoff and landing. Because I'm so ADD, the thought of just sitting there with my thoughts is painful. That's what this is for, isn't it? It's only 10 minutes.
I like that you rock it old school once in a while. Look at Leo Laporte reading.
Well, it's the only time I get to read People magazine. Unfortunately, because I am such an old guy now and I'm so out of touch, I don't know any of the people I'm reading about. Oh, Kim and Kanye just had a baby. Who are they?
Ooh, I know. That happens to me at the nail salon.
All the time. I look at this front cover. Oh, Jessica lost weight. Who's that? I don't know.
And who's this girl that shaved off all her hair and sticks her tongue out all the time?
Yeah, what's that all about? I think a lot, the cover of People magazine now is dominated by reality television stars. And I, for religious reasons, I will not watch reality television. I make it every day. That's what we're going to do right now. It's Technology Reality Radio. 8888 Ask Leo. Call me. Let's talk. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah, reality TV's Abby wanted to watch it the other night. I've never watched it. She hasn't really. But we settled on a TV show that at least wasn't so bad. It's some documentary show on MTV where they follow people. Like each episode is one person they follow around. That's not so bad. I am wearing a sweater because it's 71 degrees in here. It's freezing. I don't think Abby does like it, but she wanted to watch it. She's run out of shows. She watched the entire Battlestar Galactica in about a month, all 4 seasons. And I would come in and out because I like it. And then, but she's done with that. And then, of course, The Office is a perennial favorite, but we've watched those many, many times. She has Netflix. That's what she watches most of this stuff on. So we have, I've been setting up the TVs in the new house. Talk about conspicuous consumption. But we do not have one in the bedroom. This is both Lisa and I are saying, as tempting as that may be, no TV in the bedroom.
New rule.
I set up the Sonos, and we have nice music in the bedroom.
Oh, good.
But we do have 5 TVs. Abby has a TV in her room. Michael does not, because that's another rule, no TV in Michael's room. But Abby, she's old enough, she can have a TV in her room. We have a TV in the living room. We have a TV in the gym. We have a gym.
Oh.
Nice gym. Very light and airy.
Oh,
we were in there working out this morning.
That seems cool. Although, man, I don't know why you'd go to a gym. Petaluma is just perversely gorgeous today.
I know.
It's like...
We should have just gone for a bike ride. Wouldn't that have been smart? Yeah. No, next time we will do that.
Yeah.
It's 37 degrees in Toronto? Holy cow. Oh, 37 Fahrenheit. 3 degrees Celsius. Ooh, centigrade. Ooh, ow. Cold.
Oh, do we want to plug the Visually Impaired Tech Conference in Culver City in a week?
Sure. Give me the info. I'll plug it. Oh, you mean there's a caller?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
There's no TV in the bathroom. There will be a very elaborate toilet soon, as you know. There is a TV in the living room, a TV in my den. The OLED's in my den. That's my TV. But then everything, we got really good internet because we're kind of in the country, but we're close enough to the main drag that I think we're hooked right into the Comcast fiber. And I think there's only like 8 people using it, so we're getting really great internet. So it's nice.
I'm moving here.
So nice. 50, very solid on Wi-Fi. 50 megs down and 10 megs up on Wi-Fi everywhere in the house. Love it.
Can't you introduce me to some sturdy chicken farmer?
I should. You should meet a sturdy chicken farmer. Ding, 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 ding. Sonos is awesome. I'm just a Sonos fanatic. Leo Laporte on Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I like Sunday, even though I work. You work on Sundays. You're used to that. And everybody in radio is used to working holidays. And if you're unfortunate enough to be a weekender, in radio, being the weekend guy is like a low man on the totem pole. Actually, maybe which is worse, the overnight guy or the weekend guy?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a tough call.
But see, for me, the morning guy, who's the highest guy on the pedestal in a radio station, that's the thing I least want to do. Get up at 4 in the morning? No way.
Afternoon drive's the bomb.
Afternoon drive was the slot I always wanted, and I was afternoon drive for some years, and I loved that. Because you can get up at noon, you roll in at 3, you're done by 6 or 7.
You make it to the concert at night.
Life is beautiful.
Oh my God.
That's the shift.
This is cream puff
is it?
territory.
You're just saying that. No, you don't. You just want to keep your job. 88 8888. Ask Leo. That's the number if you want to call. We do talk tech. We are going to talk tech with you right now. In fact, I'm going to ask Heather Hammond, the phone ranger, who I should talk to.
Let's talk to Asher. Can you see where he's from?
St. John's, Newfoundland. I know where that is. Yeah. Totally know where that is. It's probably, if it's 3 degrees centigrade in Toronto, what is it in Newfoundland right now? Hi, Asher.
Hey, good news. I'm moving.
You're moving south?
Nope, Toronto.
Well, that's south of Newfoundland.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, but
Congratulations. You're moving to the big city.
Yep.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am. But the problem is, my current ISP does not service there. I'm currently getting 80 down, 30 up.
Oh, you're spoiled.
Yeah, it's $100, which is a good deal. I think it's $100.
Who's your ISP there?
Bell Alliant, but they only offer Atlantic Canada. So I have 2 quick questions. First of all, this is not specifically for you because you're not Canadian, but what do you? This is more specifically for Canadian people in the chat room.
All right.
What is a good ISP in Toronto? Now I was looking at Rogers, which I terribly hate. I hate Rogers. They were offering $250 for $200 with dollars.
Yeah, I'm not I worked for Rogers for a long time. I'm not a fan. Does anybody in Toronto, I wonder, have fiber? This is what we have in the U.S. Verizon did this in some areas, not all, and it's so nice. You're right. I'm just looking at St. John's. You're south of Toronto. That's so. Well, no, you're not. Are you south? You're more like just west of east of Toronto. Yeah. Wow, that's.
I'm east of Toronto. I'm at the easternly.
St. John's is like at the top of Maine.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. Okay, I had to learn some geography. So, as you can see, I'm not a Canadian. They say Bell is in Canada. Bell Canada is in Toronto.
I know that, but there are 2 divisions of Bell. There's Bell, like the Bell, and there's Bell Alliant, which is a subdivision of Bell. And I asked,
you have Bell Fiber,
I called up
which
Bell,
is
and they're like, we don't offer service where you're moving. But so that was just a little thing. But my main question is, since I'm moving, I'm going to be getting, an entirely new Nerd Cave.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
Who's paying for the Nerd Cave?
The Nerd Cave. Well, life savings pretty much.
You're paying for it out of your money?
Yes.
So what is a Nerd Cave if you're 13? You got an Xbox, PlayStation?
No, not Xbox.
No, see, you're not a gamer. You're
gaming PC.
Oh, gaming PC.
You're a PC.
You're a PC gamer.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm planning on building one.
Oh.
So my question is,
a Nerd Cave really ought to have a very big screen in there.
Yeah. So
and a vibrating seat. Right?
Yeah, I don't know, but
they used to call it. What do they call it? A butt thumper. It was like it was a chair with a subwoofer built into the bottom of it, and then when you played the games, they really vibrated you. That's my Nerd Cave would have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't sound that enthused. See, I like good sound.
Yeah. So my question was, I currently have a 32-inch TV, and I'm planning on moving it into the Nerd Cave. And what I'll probably be doing is sometimes my 23-inch monitor doesn't really do it justice. I like to watch everything on the big screen. Now, this TV will be in the same room as the computer, but what I'd like to do is hook it up to my TV, not exactly like an external monitor, mind you, but something where I could hit a button kind of like the Chromecast and beam it, essentially, to the TV and be able to play it. And
the problem, there are ways to do this. The technology in the Windows world is DLNA, and in the Apple world, it's Apple's flavor of that called AirPlay. The problem with that, for gaming, it's not ideal because it's there's latency. There's high latency.
Well, I'm not planning on gaming on it. I'm planning on watching, movies.
That's fine. It's great for that. But it's not great for anything that needs a fast response time because there's a little bit of a lag going from the computer to the TV, as you might imagine.
So I'm thinking about doing YouTube and that type, watching YouTube videos and that type of thing.
Chromecast is great, $35. It does YouTube, it does Google Play Store, movies and television, and it does Pandora, it does Hulu, and I'm sure there'll be more soon, although I've been saying that for a while. For $99, you get an Apple TV, and if you have PCs though, huh?
I'm going to be running. No, actually, what I'll be doing is dual booting OS 10 and Windows.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I forgot. You're in Canada.
Yeah.
So Chromecast, I don't think works in Canada, does it?
I think Best Buy does sell it for like $70.
Oh, well, just order it from the U.S. and
yeah.
So that's one good, inexpensive $70. You know, Best Buy is selling the Nexus 5, which sells on Google's Play Store for $350 for $800. This seems like that people, they don't understand that these days consumers can read. They can get on the internet. They can check prices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chromecast, Apple TV works in Canada with a Mac, and so you have a Mac, so that's good.
Yep.
There is Roku in Canada. I'm pretty sure.
I do have a Roku.
Okay, good.
What can I do with the Roku?
Roku will support something called Plex.
Yeah. Plex. What I'd like to have it a little bit more seamless, where if I'm watching a YouTube video, there should be like a button next to it or something like that.
Yeah, that's Chromecast.
Push the button, boom.
That's Chromecast. So on the YouTube, so you're on your phone, and on the YouTube player, there's a little when it sees a Chromecast. I have Chromecast on all my TVs. I love Chromecast. When you see when you're on the YouTube video, you see a little button if it sees a Chromecast, and you press that, and you say, and it says, what TV you want to send it to, and you say Nerd Cave. And you start. Now, it's imperfect, I think. It takes a little while for it to sync up. And what happens is kind of interesting, because this is why it takes a while. It doesn't start playing it from the device to the TV. It sends a signal to the Chromecast. The Chromecast has a little browser in it. The Chromecast goes out and gets it directly. That means you can turn off your remote device, your iPad, iPhone, Android device, and the Chromecast keeps playing. But while it's on, you control it with pause, play, volume, and all of that. I think it's a very nice choice. It'll get better if they add more stuff. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hey, have I talked about the post office lately? And Stamps.com? Stamps.com means you don't have to go to the post office. You can break up your love affair with that cute little postage clerk. If you've got an employee who goes out to buy stamps and comes back 4 hours later, you might want to think about Stamps.com. Stamps lets you do everything you would do at the post office from your desk, because you can print your own postage, legal U.S. postage, from your computer and your printer. You do not. I'm not talking a postage meter here. This is so much better. You already have everything you need. You don't have to pay extra for that expensive ink. Postage meter ink is 100 times more expensive than inkjet ink, which is already overpriced. Stamps.com means you can do it 24/7. You don't have to figure out when the post office is open or closed. You just get what you need. And there's a big button. Now, normally the mail carrier comes 6 days a week, right? So, they'll pick up the mail on a regular basis. But there's even a big button on the Stamps.com site, the software, that says, pick it up. And the mail carrier comes and gets it on demand, free. It's because the post office loves Stamps.com. We've talked about it a lot. And we've been asking our listeners what they like about Stamps.com. Colin Heller is the co-founder and vice president of operations of a company called Simple Bills Corporation. And he says, before I heard about Stamps.com, when Leo was talking about it, I carried the mail to the post office and waited in line to get the stamps, get the right postage. He says that saves him a lot of time and money with Stamps.com on postage, and he really likes being able to purchase postage at a discount and then print labels so the company can apply them directly to the packaging. You can also print right on envelopes if you're sending out mailers or bills. With your company logo, the return address is automatically in there. Stamps.com, if you haven't signed up yet, do it today. Do not do the offer on the front page. Click the microphone at the top of the Stamps.com page and enter my offer code TechGuy for the $110 bonus value. That's a good deal. Up to $55 in free postage coupons. The free digital scale, you just pay $5 shipping and handling. There's a $5 supply kit, and, of course, a 4-week trial. Stamps.com. We use it here. Actually, when I need stamps, I come in and I say, give me some stamps. And Deb prints me out some stamps.com stamps. I'll show you. This is what they look like. There's, the special paper. And these are stamps. And there's always the right postage, right? Because at stamps.com, you don't have to, like a postage meter, sometimes you have to tell it it knows what the postage is automatically because it's online. Stamps.com. Love it. Streaming quality is excellent. In fact, on the Chromecast, Netflix offers 1080p. Of course, it's bandwidth dependent, but if you have good bandwidth, you actually get better Netflix on Chromecast than you do on Roku. Chromecast will also do tab casting, so anything you can see in a Chrome tab, you can see on the screen. Yeah, I agree. If you really want to make this easy, get a long HDMI cable. And then you don't get latency. I think they're saying, Uncle Bick, that Chromecast... yes, Chris Marquardt. I think they're saying that Chromecast is sold in Canada. And it does work. It doesn't need a proxy. Asher is great. I love Asher. So congratulations that you're moving to Toronto, Asher. That's very exciting. You're going to love Toronto. What a great city. Yeah, get a Raspberry Pi. You're right. Yeah, that's a good idea. And do, what do they call it? The XBMC on Raspberry. It's got a name for it. HDMI cables can be pretty long. I think 10 meters is the practical limit. Newfoundland. No, it's Newfoundland. And it's right here. So this is Newfoundland. And St. John's is, where is it? It's right at the edge here. So Toronto's is south of it. Toronto's right here. So it's a bit south. Southeast. And St. John's, where is it? It's on this island, right? You'll forgive me, my Canadian. Yeah, there it is. There's St. John's. So St. John's is kind of one of the southernmost parts of Newfoundland. So there's St. John's, and here's Toronto down here. Newfoundland? Newfoundland. Newfoundland? Nobody calls it Newfoundland. Ask Asher.
Have you heard about the new TV show?
What?
Newfoundlandia? Fred Armisen and Carrie, what's her face?
That would be funny. Is it true? Is that real? No, that's funny. I like it.
I just invented it. Genius just flies out of me.
Whoa. Ooh. Asher says it's pronounced Newfoundland. No, Newfoundland. Lund.
I think he said Newfoundland to me.
12:31. Our flip clock did not get fixed. Am I saying it wrong, Asher? Newfoundland? 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 Newfoundland. 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 But you don't pronounce the found and the land. It's Newfoundland. Am I not saying it right? So Newfoundland.
I agree. That's what I would do. I don't know
Newfoundland.
why. Newfoundland. Are you the turkey maker in your family? He, the Grinch himself.
I think we're going to try to. I think we're going to try to go somewhere for Thanksgiving this year and not do turkey. But yes, I make turkeys, and the way I do it is as prescribed by Cook's Illustrated. Do you like Cook's Illustrated? Best recipes. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. I think my voice is changing. That would be a bad thing. You don't want your voice to change in radio. Brian in Santa Ana, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. I just ordered one of the new Nexus 5s.
Me too.
It should be here on Thursday.
Woo! Me too.
And I want to get a wireless charger for it. And I'm looking around. I'm seeing them running for like $10 to $100, and I can't find any information if there's any real difference between the $10 charger and the $100 charger.
I went crazy on wireless when I got a Nexus 4 and a Nexus 7. So the idea, and Nokia does this too, Nokia uses the QI standard, as all of the others do. So if you get any Qi charger, it'll work. So there are a lot of different companies that make Qi chargers. I've decided that wireless is a little overblown. It's so much, it's because you have to position it carefully on the wireless charger. Do not, whatever you do, get the Google Nexus charger. I don't know if they're still selling this. That thing was junk because the phone would slide down off of it. Everybody complained about it. It doesn't stay on the charger because it was a little tilted. It was a good idea. You know, you can look at the phone while it's charging, but it just wouldn't stay in place. It would slide off of it. So I would say my favorites are, there's two of them that I have that I like. One is from Anker, A-N-K-E-R. A-N-K-E-R. Oh, the new one has magnets? It should have magnets. It didn't have magnets before. They were relying on this, I guess, the stickiness or the suction of the charger, and it didn't work. So Anker makes one that's just flat. You lie the phone or the tablet on it, but you got to position it carefully, which is annoying. The green light will go on saying, okay, I'm charging. If it gets knocked, it stops charging. I found that annoying as well. And I also there's a dual charger that an Energizer makes with two pads on it. If you had two devices, that would be handy. And I like that. So Google is launching, apparently with Nexus, a new charger. Now, I haven't tried it after my very poor experiences with the last Google charger. I'm nervous about it, but I will get one. Just because maybe they learned their lesson. The puck that they sold last year was so horrible that they probably have learned not to do that. The new charger, according to The Verge, is glossy on top, unlike the sticky, dust-collecting rubber finish on the last year's model. It's compatible with the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7, or presumably any other Qi device. But it uses magnets to help them. Maybe that was the problem, is that the earlier devices, they didn't put magnets in, so that made it hard to position them. You know, the magnets pull it into the right position, and also hard to keep it on there. So maybe the Google one is the one to get. It's not yet available on the store, as far as I can tell. Let me visit the store and see which ones have you looked at. I think $5 probably is a bad idea.
Yeah, I just looked all over the place. I felt like $10 ones, $20 ones.
Yeah, they're cheap Chinese knockoffs probably.
One that was like a little artist pedestal that was $100. I was like, okay, that's a little overkill.
Yeah, no, that's too much. But do beware. There is a difference, not so much in the technology, but just in the, yes, I don't see the wireless charger yet on the Google site. That will probably be the one to get, depending on how much it is. The last one was overpriced and not under dissatisfying. I think what I ended up doing is plugging everything in, because then it's in there. It's not gonna fall off or slide off. I like the principle of wireless charging, but I'm not sure it works. Apparently, the Nexus 5 has magnets to hold it down on the new charger, so maybe this will work better. Tell you what, I'll order one and let you know. But Anker, I've had very good results with Anker third-party batteries, chargers. Anker has a lot of different devices, and I've been very happy with all of them. ANKER, so that would be my recommendation. And the jury's still out on wireless charging. A good idea in principle. Maybe $50. $50 sounds about right. The other problem with wireless charging, it's using induction. So you may be familiar with this if you have an electric toothbrush, for instance. Nowadays, the electric toothbrushes, you don't plug them in. You put them on a base, and they're charging. And it's using induction. So what's happening is there's, in effect, a little generator. I think, now correct me if I'm wrong. A little generator in the device, which gets stimulated by the base. The problem is there is a kind of there's a loss of about, they say, 30%, so it's less efficient. Maybe we just haven't seen the perfect wireless chargers. Nokia makes a charging plate for $25. That's probably pretty good. Their phones all support wireless charging. 8888 Ask Leo. Thanks for the call. Bob in Clearwater, Florida. Hi, Bob. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, hi, Leo. How you
Hi.
doing?
I'm great, Bob. How are you?
We go back to the old screensaver days, although I'm first-time caller. And, about a year or so ago, you and Dick DiBartolo did a bit on my old Dell DJ M33 player, which I thought was pretty neat.
I remember the Dell DJ MP3. That was a great bit. Thank you for doing that, Bob. I remember. And we sent you a little, what did we send you? A little gift, didn't we?
Yeah, he sent me some Mad magazines and such.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah. My question is, right now I have a Motorola Razr, which is today's world is considered a dumb phone.
Wait a minute. Do you have the so you don't have the newer Razr? You have the old Razr.
I have the old.
The old with the flip phone one with the shiny front. Oh, that was a classic.
Oh, it's blue and it flips open, you know.
Yeah.
It rings, you know.
It rings.
That's about it.
You can make phone calls.
Yeah.
What an idea.
I've been thinking about the Well, I've had good luck with Motorola, so I've been thinking about their new Moto X smartphone.
Love the Moto X, and I don't think it gets enough love.
You said that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it should get more love.
It's made in the USA?
It's made in Texas. And one of the advantages, because it's made in Texas, they have this Moto Maker configuration thing. You can have it all customized in colors and stuff and still get it within a few days because it's not coming from China. It's many parts are not made in the U.S. It's assembled in the U.S., but, you know.
Oh, okay.
You want to support America, right?
Right.
Right. And so it's the only phone that to my knowledge, it is made in the U.S. So that's a selling point. Yeah, keep your money in the country. That's a selling point. I think it's a very well-made phone. It has some extremely nice features. You could talk to it. But there's some subtle stuff that I really like. For instance, it knows my calendar, and when I'm in a meeting, I can set it not to ring. When I'm driving, I can say automatically, it'll say out loud, "Oh, Heather's calling. And would you like to take it?" And I could say no. And it says, "Well, should I send her a text, say you're driving?" And I said, "Yes." And it sends you a text, says, "I'm driving. I'll get back to you when I arrive." Just little things like that make such a difference. It's a beautiful phone, great battery life, not as good as your Razr. I bet you can go all week without charging that thing.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
How about that OK Google Now? Does that work as good as that Siri?
Okay, Google Now. Is it going to rain today? Oh, I have to unlock it. Hold on a sec, because I have it locked. That's bad. It was a bad demonstration. My fault.
No, rain is not expected today in Petaluma. The forecast is 70 degrees and partly cloudy.
So it's pretty good. Okay, Google Now. How do you say "it's a beautiful day" in Italian? Let's see if I can do that.
È una bella giornata.
That's pretty good. So, yes, the OK Google Now works well. That's a little bit of a gimmick. It is as good. In fact, it's better than Siri, in my opinion. But there are many other features of this phone that make it, to me, a very desirable phone that deserves, frankly, more credit. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. OK Google Now. How do you pronounce Newfoundland? Oh, it's giving me a video. Let's see. Let's see what it says. No.
6 months ago, I just couldn't see any sign of me getting back to work whatsoever.
Skip it. Thank you. How do you pronounce it?
Hello. I'm from MediaMark.com, or the YouTube page MediaMark.com, and I've been doing updates on Tropical Storm Leslie now for about a week. And
tell me how to pronounce it.
It was brought to my attention by many Canadians, many of my Canadian viewers, as well as in particular.
Oh my God! How could you stretch this out more?
Shed some light on my pronunciation.
Just tell us.
Pronunciation of Newfoundland.
Oh, he's saying Newfoundland. Okay. Okay, Google Now. How do you pronounce Newfoundland? Will it actually pronounce it? No. See, it gives me a Google search. Oh, yeah. Okay, Google now. Translate Newfoundland into English. To assist. No, it won't do it.
I wonder if you could just trick her into saying it. Give me directions to St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah, and then say, well, I could, yeah.
Or, say it that way and see if she understands what you're saying.
Yeah. I heard him say it, so I think I've been doing it wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. Beef barley chicken noodle lentil with chorizo or beef cactus chili. Let's do a medium lentil with chorizo. Thank you. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Okay, Google now. It says, hi there. Hi there, Leo. Oh, yeah, if you sent me a text, it would read it. Jeffrey Needles. He figured out the workaround. Good. Yeah, Ting and Moto X would be a nice pairing. Yeah, if Sprint works well in your neighborhood. It does not work well in Petaluma, so unfortunately I'm not a fan of Sprint here. But if you get Sprint well, then I think you're right. Ting and a Moto X would be great. Now, you don't get the Moto Maker unless you get it from AT&T, and I think that's going to change like next month. I really do. All right, I'll click the OG. I don't even know if I can play OG. Let's play the OG. Oggy doggy.
Newfoundland.
Why this is so low?
Newfoundland.
Jeez. I'm glad somebody recorded that, but could you have done a worse job? What phone do I have on Threema? My Moto X is on Threema. And I apologize because I've been getting so many. I got like 40 messages last night. People are listening to Security Now. The Nexus 5 should work on AT&T, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put it on T-Mobile, but I think the unlock should work fine. It needs to be a GSM, obviously. Moto Assist works great on my Moto X. Oh, I love it. For instance, the phone won't ring now. It's the only phone I have that makes no noise in the middle of the night, but I need to have a phone that if it's an emergency from my family, it will ring, and this does. So it's I just love it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. That's the phone number. We're talking. I don't talk up the Moto X as much as I should. It is my day-to-day phone. It's the one I brought on my vacation, the only phone I brought on my vacation. And I just think it's a perfect size. It feels good in the hand. Its functionality is not spectacular. Like the OK Google Now stuff is not spectacular. But when you add up all the little features, it knows when I sleep, and it gets, it doesn't ring the phone or make buzzing noises when I sleep, unless it's an emergency. Oh, I shouldn't have said OK Google Now. It's been listening to me. Oh yeah, maybe let's try this. OK Google Now. What is Newfoundland? We're trying to get the pronunciation.
Newfoundland, a dog of a very large breed with a thick, coarse coat.
That's helpful. Let's go back to the phones. Computers. What are you going to do? James, Niles, Michigan, you're next. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, Leo. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Hi, James.
Yeah, a question for you. My wife is working on her doctorate and was wanting to buy a new Mac for her to do the work on it. And we're looking at iMacs, and we're just trying to decide if we should go with the 256 flash-based hard drive or go with the Apple Fusion drive.
Yes. No, go with the flash drive. So Fusion is an interesting idea, and I have a 3 terabyte Fusion drive in front of me. The idea is that solid-state drives are expensive per gigabyte. You know, for the capacity, they're expensive. So And people seem to have a lot of data, especially on desktop computers these days. So what Apple did is and this is built into the operating system, they married a small SSD drive with a large spinning drive to get a total of 3 terabytes. And then the theory is that the operating system will manage what goes on what. And so when it sees you using something a lot, in theory, it moves it to the Fusion drive. And certainly, it's better than a spinning drive alone, but I'm not convinced it's that much better. And I tell you, I am convinced that an SSD drive, a pure SSD drive, is hugely better. The real issue is, does she need a lot of storage?
Nope, she just really wants to just write her dissertation on this and use nothing else.
The beauty of an SSD drive is the boot times are in seconds. Applications launch right away. The computer gets out of your way. It turns out that while we talk a lot about the speed of the processor or the graphics card, really the speed of the computer is to a great degree determined by what we call I/O, input, output, the time spent waiting for data to be read from a disk or written to a disk. And it's so much faster on an SSD that the entire computing experience seems to be that much faster. So I would say get an SSD. If she doesn't need a huge amount of storage, don't get the Fusion. Fusion is not that much faster.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Leo. You have a great day.
I appreciate it. Apple's doing something new that I like with SSD drives. They've done it on the MacBook Airs. I don't know, and the MacBook Pros now with Retina. They're going to do it on the Mac Pro. I don't know if they've done it with the iMac yet. I should look at the specs. Normally, hard drives, you may know this, on most computers are on a bus. Okay, I should define bus. Bus is just a freeway. It's the data pathway, the freeway that the data zooms down on its way to the processor where it can be worked on. So there are a couple of different kinds of buses in your computer. Typically, disks, whether there be optical drives like DVD and CD or hard drives, are attached via a bus called SATA, the serial ATA bus. But SATA is not very fast. Even the most modern SATA is only, I think, 6 gigabits per second of data. Whereas there is a bus that's even faster on most computers, the PCIe or PCI Express bus. That bus is normally used for video cards, but Apple has started putting SSDs on the PCIe bus, and boy, does that make a difference. Holy mackerel. We're talking, because the issue is that these SSD drives are frankly faster than the bus. They're in a traffic jam much of the time. So I highly recommend, if you can, I'm just checking to see if the iMacs, the iMacs still use serial ATA, which is too bad. I expect they'll start using the PCI Express, but they can't do it right now, I guess. So, you'll still see a big difference in SSD, just not as huge a difference. They describe the Fusion drive here as 128 gigabytes of super fast flash storage with a traditional hard drive. You cannot separate them. There are also compatibility issues. There have been problems with using Windows and Boot Camp on a Fusion drive because Windows doesn't really understand what a Fusion drive is. Only Macs do. So, SSD. You want speed, and believe me, you want speed. An SSD is a great way to go. 8888 Ask Leo is the number. Should I do a Carbonite commercial here, or can I continue on? Do you know?
If you want, but it's later.
He said, if you want. I don't want. I want to take more calls.
Do it.
All right. Julian, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Julian.
Hey, good morning, Leo.
Good morning.
I wanted to share with you and your listeners, as I've done in years past, and thank you for letting me do so. I wanted to share information about the up-and-coming Best in Tech conference here in Los Angeles. It is an assistive technology day-long event for those who are visually impaired or those who provide services in any way to the blind or visually impaired community. It's going to be on November the 16th on a Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Culver City, California. I'll give you the website right now. It's www.bestintech.info. And there they can go read all about what the activities are going to be for the day and sign up online. It is free to attend, so we welcome everybody who wants to come and attend. We're going to be raffling off great door prizes provided by our sponsors. And again, all you have to do to enter those is register for the event.
That's great. So it's free. Now, of course, you have to be in the Southern California area to attend. Any chance that you're going to put maybe videos of this or something online or audio so people can...
Actually, that's one of the things we do provide. If you actually go to the page, we have audio from previous year's events, all the workshops and everything like that. So thanks to the audio internet reading service of Los Angeles, there's LA, they provide recording for all of our events, so people who cannot attend can still get the benefits of the event.
Right on. That's great. So it's coming up, the Best in Tech Conference for 2013 in Culver City. It's at the DoubleTree down there. And if you want to know more, go to the website, bestintech.info. It's coming 2 weeks, right?
Right, yeah. And if anybody cannot get to the web and wants to talk to a live person to help them register, we have that available. If I can give out that phone number.
Certainly.
That is area code 818-457-9449.
Very good. Or you can email nfbevents@gmail.com.
That too.
Hey, I'm glad you could get the plug-in, Julian. I think it's a
great. I appreciate you always letting me do this every year.
Yeah, well, we have so many low vision and blind listeners that I really am glad to help out. And I think assistive technology is one of the most interesting things that's going on in computing. Is the use of technology, particularly computers, but other technologies, tablets lately really have been very popular, to help people with various disabilities interact with the world. And the results are phenomenal. We're seeing now smartphones that are designed very nicely for people with low vision and no vision. So that's really good news, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Connects you to the world.
Yes, absolutely. It's power in our hands, which increases our independence and productivity.
Exactly. It's really great. Thanks, Julian. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm excited about technology. It's not because, I think a lot of times we focus on what's the shiniest, coolest, newest, neatest whiz-mo bang thing. And really, that's not why I'm in this. And that's not the thing that's most interesting. What's interesting is how technology is changing our lives. It's empowering people, seniors, disabled folks, a variety of people who are disconnected from the world. It's getting them back in touch. It's giving them power. It's democratizing media, which I love. It means that, it used to be, and for 100 years, more than 100 years, mass media required so much capital. You had to be so wealthy that you really controlled it. The people who controlled it were rich. That's who owned TV and radio stations and newspapers. But now, thanks to the internet, you can publish, you can record, you can make video, and we're seeing it. And it's a revolution. I think it's great. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Thank you, sir. But as soon as I can, I'm pulling up the ladder so that you unwashed masses will just stop using the internet. You're really making it bad for the rest of us. I just want to say that. You must knock it off. Knock it off.
This is a great movie script. What if Thurston Howell came back and ruled the world?
Where's Newfoundland, for crying out loud? All right, Asher, he really wants me to do this instead of not what is a Newfoundland, but okay, Google now, where is Newfoundland? Well, it shows me a map.
It doesn't exist. Sorry, Asher.
I see a map.
You're a figment of our imagination.
Oh, I mock you, Jeff Needles, but I mock us all. You see, all of us who are now in the 1% really have got to cut off the rest of those people. They're just making a mess of it. What is it, Ozzy? What is it,
Dog?
Dog
Doesn't like Thurston Howell.
No, he doesn't.
Makes him very uncomfortable.
Truckee, that's a big question. SSDs, that you can't secure erase them. So I should have mentioned that, and I will when I come back. You must turn on encryption right away. Otherwise, those masses will be able to read your emails, mocking them. Yeah, commercial users are angry because of the loss of... Did you get some?
I did.
What'd you get?
The same.
It is very fabulous. We're having
said I'll have what he's having. Damn it.
Is it?
It's so good.
The beef barley, is that what you had?
Yeah, and
it's got a little curry in it.
Oh, is that what I'm tasting?
Yeah, it's good.
That chili you had, I grabbed some just to have it.
Isn't that good?
And then I had it for lunch one day last week.
We're lucky.
That was hot, though.
Spicy?
Oh, it was so hot. Do they always do that with their chili?
I don't remember it being hot. This is pretty spicy, what we're eating right now.
I threw a bunch of... I can't believe this place. I threw a bunch of, like you do with chili, like cheese and sour cream in it.
Yum. That cools it off. Sour cream cools it off, yeah.
Heat.
Crackers, hot dogs. Yeah. Potatoes. You know what you're supposed to do? Cincinnati three-way. You ever been to Cincinnati? Sure you have. You're from Iowa. All them flyover states are all the same. No?
It's really far away.
I know. I'm just teasing. I know. I've been to Iowa and Cincinnati.
We always drove the other direction.
It's far. It's far.
Nebraska.
Cincinnati's practically the South, but the three-way chili there is on spaghetti. It's very weird. It has cinnamon in it.
Ugh.
And yeah, but I like it, but it's not what you think of as chili.
I'm feeling the cinnamon, but putting it over noodles? Is that what you're saying?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Nah, don't do that.
Look it up here. Cincinnati three-way, you're going to get a two-way, three-way, four-way. Cincinnati chili. It's a different flavor. According to Wikipedia, it's a regional style of chili con carne, characterized by the use of seasonings such as cinnamon, cloves, allspice, or chocolate, served over spaghetti or as a hot dog sauce. Is normally of a thin, this is appealing, isn't it? Sauce-like consistency, unlike most chili con carne. While served in many restaurants, it's often associated with restaurant chains like Skyline. That's the one, Skyline chili. This is four-way, garnished with oyster crackers. So you get it chili in a bowl, two ways chili and spaghetti, three ways chili, spaghetti, and cheese, four-way chili, spaghetti, cheese, and onions, five-way chili, spaghetti, cheese, onions, and beans. Optionally, the four-way bean is chili, spaghetti, cheese, and beans instead of onions.
What about Frito pie?
That's chili. You take a can of what is the canned chili that everybody loves? You put it in
more? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not Dinty Moore, something like that. You put a can of chili in a bag of Fritos, and you mix it up.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's good. Hormel. That's right.
I went
Hormel
to
chili.
In Texas for a little bit.
That'll kill you.
Okay, Hormel.
Hormel.
Right.
And
at
then,
restaurants.
Yeah. Now you want a great Super Bowl dip.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
I do.
You take a can of Hormel and a block of Philly cream cheese. You put them in the crock pot and you let them simmer together. And you've got basically a gut bomb that you can't get rid of it because it just blocks you up.
Really?
Guaranteed. Oh, look, Dr. Mom, of course, has a recipe for Frito pie made from scratch.
Wait, you don't make the Fritos?
Homemade Fritos? What the hell?
But yeah, they put Fritos in the bottom
homemade
of
Fritos,
chili, and then a bunch of cheese and sour cream.
Homemade Fritos. Stag is decent chili.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instant. So we're gonna go see. I think we're gonna have a Ender's Game movie night tonight.
Now, Scotty said he liked it, right?
Yeah.
But somebody on Facebook was like, they want their
reviews.
3 hours back.
Rotten Tomatoes, 63%. Not good.
Huh.
Barely. Oh, what is in here? Oh, this looks good. This looks like it might be food. Just got a box from George Ackerman, Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, saltwater taffy, I bet.
Is that what Sarasota's famous for?
Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
Oh, wait a minute. It's a lightning bug in a jar. Food. Thank you, George. We'll do this on the GizWiz. We did the butterfly.
Just don't have enough food around
we did a
here.
Butterfly in a jar. Now we have a lightning bug in a jar.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Thank you, George. Here, let's see. Press the button for an interactive demo.
Cute. I want that. Turn out the lights so we can see it show
It's
up.
just like the butterfly, only it's got a little light. That's cute. Thank you, George. Columbus, Ohio, we go to Wendy's for chili. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Rice? Denison's is another one, yeah. Hormel Denison Stags. 68% of raters on Apple App Store rate Pages 5, 1 or 2 stars. Well, you know, this happened also, remember, with Final Cut and iMovie. Whenever Apple kind of does a rewrite, and they had to do it from scratch. They took out a lot of features, but the presumption is they will add them back over time. Tony Pacos. Hungarian chili. No beans. Chili does not have beans normally. Normally, chili is just meat. Chili rice at Zippy's. Oh, you're in Hawaii, huh? Where are you, Metro Scenes? Raiders are haters. That's right. Really? Fritos are so high fat you can light one with a match and use it to start a campfire. There's a tip. That's a useful. Start your run out of charcoal lighter fluid. Don't worry. Fritos make an excellent lighter fluid. That's a good tip. I do love Fritos. Oh, that's probably why I'm so fat.
That is a perfect food.
Oh, Fritos are so good. Ba 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 ba. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about cell phones, hard drives, home theater, internet, computers, anything with a chip in it. 8888, Ask Leo. We talked last week about Crypto Locker with Steve Gibson. We've talked more about it on the Security Now show again this Wednesday. This is the nasty malware that's going around. In the last 4 weeks, it's just kind of taken the world by storm. It's a form of ransomware. You know what ransomware is. The malware gets on your system. In this case, at least for now, although this could change, but at least for now, the way it comes is you get an email that says, oh, urgent attachment. And it could be a variety of different reasons the attachment's urgent. Sometimes it comes from a bank saying, we have details of your wire transfer here. Attached is a zip file. Inside the zip file looks to be a PDF, which would be, exactly how you'd get a fax, for instance, if it were emailed to you. You open it. It turns out it's not a PDF because, remember, Windows by default hides file extensions. So if you have a file named malicioussoftware.pdf.exe, unless you've turned on file extensions, which you should, it'll look like malicioussoftware.pdf. So you'll double-click it saying, oh, yeah. Then it silently encrypts your personal stuff, your documents, your photos, your PDFs, everything. Then puts up a sign that says, hello, I am a bad guy. I have encrypted your computer, and only I have the key. We have hidden the key on a secret server, and we will make that available to you if you send us $300 in money pack coupons. If you do not, you have 72 hours to do so. Your key will be deleted, and you will never see your data again. And they mean it. In fact, we know people who have sent them money and gotten the key back. Unfortunately, we also know of law enforcement officials who have found the servers and shut them down, forever making it impossible to get your key back. In other words, inadvertently deleting data for hundreds of thousands of people. This is spreading so fast that there's been a run on money pack coupons. One listener reported that he went to the 7-Eleven to get $300 in money pack coupons, and they said, what's going on? We're out. What's going on? All of a sudden, everybody wants a money pack. You use these coupons because they're anonymous, right? You could send them to somebody anonymously. So be very aware of this. I'm mentioning it because I really, this more than ever, do not open email attachments. Be very careful on the links you click. Never click a link in an email or an instant message because those clicks can hide the site you're going to. It looks like one site, but you're going to another site. Be very careful and back up your data. Somebody in the chat room said, well, if my drive is already encrypted, if I use FileVault or BitLocker or TrueCrypt and it's encrypting the data, am I still at risk? Yeah, of course you are. Now it's doubly encrypted. That doesn't protect you. Only a good backup and not getting it installed in the first place. That'll protect you. We were talking about solid-state drives last hour, how much I love them, but there is an issue you should be aware of, especially if you work in a business where you are required by law to protect confidentiality. A SSD drive can never be fully erased. What? No. The way these drives work, you cannot effectively wipe the data on an SSD drive. So whenever that's important because that means if you ever sell it or give it away or lose control of it for whatever reason, that data will be visible to somebody with the proper skills. I spell skills with a Z in this case. So I always, whenever I have a solid-state device, I always turn on encryption before I even use it. And that's important. That includes, by the way, your smartphone, your tablets. Those are solid-state devices as well, solid-state drives as well. Solid-state storage cannot be fully erased. So turn on encryption. And do it before you put any data on it, because anything that you put on it unencrypted is going to still be there too. Really important. Keep that in mind. Al in Boise, Idaho. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Al.
Hey, Leo. Boy, you've been on the air for a long time.
Yeah, 30 some years. Oh, you mean today?
No, I mean, 30-some years. I remember you first started this thing. So
it's John C. Dvorak and I started doing computer call-in in 1991.
Yeah.
Which is what, 22 years ago.
I lived in the Bay Area, and I remember you popping on some of the Bay Area radio stations.
Oh, yeah, we were on KGO, started on KNBR, went to KGO. It's funny because in 1991, it was DOS 5 and Windows 3.1.1. We've come a long way, baby.
Nothing's changed, right?
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about interrupt request conflicts anymore. Thank you. And I no longer have to say there's this thing called the internet.
Yes. People already know what
people know that, thank goodness.
At least the younger generation does. There's still some older generation that's struggling with the whole concept still.
Yeah. This internet thing, it's a fad. I can't wait till it goes away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Friends call me every couple of weeks to find out how to do Craigslist. So it's pretty.
Oh, yeah. Well, what can I do for you today, Al? I appreciate your listening all this time.
Yeah, I have an LG Tone Plus, and I was really excited when I got it. It's been nice to have. The thing I don't like about it is it really wears on your neck. The latex center band on it that lays on your neck rubs and binds and rashes and all sorts.
That's too
You're
bad.
working outside.
So these are headphones. We should explain. People are probably wondering, what is that? They're headphones that go, they're kind of fun. They don't go around the top of your head. They go around the back of your head.
They just lay around your neck, and then the earbuds come off the ends and stick in your ears. And I'm actually talking on mine right now. You can listen to audiobooks or music or whatever you want. The sound counseling's pretty good, and they're very nice to wear because they're not you don't knock them off all the time.
Right. But you're saying this band going behind your hairline is annoying.
Yeah, I mean, because normally I got a T-shirt on, and they're just laying on your bare skin, and latex and skin aren't real friends.
Well,
with any products out there
you need to grow a mullet.
You don't realize I don't have any hair.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, there are a couple of companies that make. So the idea is this is a Bluetooth headset.
Right.
There are a couple of companies. I don't. Do you not want a band that goes over the top of your head? Is that something you don't want?
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, there's those things you knock off all the time.
Yeah.
This is very convenient. It's something sometimes you can tuck under your shirt even, and it's just that latex on your skin isn't a really great thing.
Well, and there's an advantage to those because they have more battery life because they're big, right? But they go around your neck.
They're not actually that big.
Yeah, but I mean they're bigger than something that just sticks in your ear. Let's put it that way.
Right. They have some. I mean, there's some styles out there that are just earbuds that just have the band that goes between. I think Blue Jay or somebody put one out that's.
Well, and there are lots of, and maybe you want to look at this, lots of Bluetooth headsets. Oh, but you want stereo sound. You want left and right, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not familiar with the cover that anybody's manufacturing for these things?
A cover, that's what you need. Why don't you get one of those croquis, you know, that you attach your sunglasses to, these croquis? I think they're hollow inside. You could just run the thing through it. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Get your girlfriend to knit you a little silk sleeve for your headphones. I don't know the answer. That's a good question. I mean, there are Bluetooth earbuds, but I don't like them. Etymotics made them for a while. I think they stopped because they had a big. They went in your ear, but they had big dongles on each side for the battery. That wasn't great either.
Yeah, this actually is very nice. It just seems like somebody out there should be making a product to cover this piece of latex.
It's like having a rubber band rub against the back of your head. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody listening will know. I am not even familiar with these, or wasn't until you mentioned them. I'm actually going to maybe pick some up. They look pretty cool. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I turned off my mic. You can't hear me. What's your name?
Earl Ford.
Hi, Earl. Nice to meet you. And you are? John Morrow. Hi, John. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? Champaign, Illinois, Oceanside, California. Right. Gotcha. I'm Leo. That's Heather. And we're just here hanging out. Lawn Dog, I don't think that works. You know, Steve Gibson's the one to ask on this stuff. I don't really understand why you can't erase an SSD. Jaybird Bluetooth wireless buds. Oh, yeah, I remember the Oakley Rockers. I remember those. If your business doesn't buy you new phones, then you got to pay for it yourself. Gazelle's a great way to do it. They will give you cash for a variety of old gadgets, old iPhones, iPads, Macs, Samsung phones, even Blackberries, Windows Surface, Samsung tablets, Asus, Amazon tablets. Let's say, you know, you got the old Amazon Kindle Fire HD. You want to get the new HDX. Let's see just how much. $60. I'm going to put that in the box. Let's see what else. I mean, I only paid $200 some for it. How about I have an iPhone 5 and I want to get a new iPhone 5S. $240. Throw that in the box. With all of these are guaranteed locked-in prices, but you have a month to take advantage of them, 30 days. So get the price now when your new iPhone or iPad comes. You can wipe the old one, move the data over. I forgot I have my old third generation AT&T. Oh, $235 for my iPad third generation. Got to do that too. I'm just sitting on that. It's just sitting around the house. That's money in my pocket. Gazelle pays the shipping on anything worth more than $1, and then they will. Their data experts will wipe your data if you forget to. That's nice. Real peace of mind there. And then they will send you a check or a PayPal credit, or if you use Amazon a lot, get the Amazon gift credit because they bumped that 5%. Gazelle, gazelle.com. It's a great way to sell your gadgets, get cash, move on, and they'll find a good home for it. They even buy broken iPhones and iPads for parts. Gazelle.com. Try it today, will you? I should get rid of my iPad mini. I wonder what that's worth. Because I know I'm getting the new one. And see, the thing is, the price is even, the price is going to go down. So I will have a month. It is Wi-Fi only, 64 gigs. See, that's $230. That gets me, like, real close. So I should just lock that in, right? And then that way, if I get the new mini, I can take advantage of it. And if I don't, no harm done. Sure, you can use the Amazon credit in the Amazon Wireless Store. Of course, John. Credit's a credit. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 88 Ask Leo. We have a great website, too. TechGuyLabs.com, where you will not only find all the questions and all my answers and all the links we talk about, so you don't have to write anything down. You'll find audio and video from past shows, all 1,028. You'll also find a place where you can comment. So if you hear me say something, you go, Leo, there's a better way, or I think this, you could please put it in the comments. The idea is that this site will, over time, as people add material, become a valuable resource, not just of my opinion, but of general consensus opinion about any tech topic. Always free, open to all. Tell your friends, techguylabs.com. You'll also find a link there to our chat room. Always fun in there. techguylabs.com. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Donald's next in Denver, Colorado. Hi, Donald. Leo Laporte here.
Hello, Leo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
My problem is that my wife has a MacBook Pro, and we downloaded the Mavericks operating system the other day, and now she can't print. The way we have it set up is that we have a PC, a separated PC with a printer, and the printer is connected to that PC. And we used to print, and it was perfect. But now with the Mavericks, I don't know if it doesn't come with all the printers, with all the drivers, if it supports.
So you're using printer sharing on Windows?
Yes.
I would just try re-adding the printer. In fact, I seem to remember when I installed Mavericks, I had to re-add my printers. You know how to do that in the system preference pane. There's a printers and scanner item. Go there, delete the printer. It sees it now, or is it delete it and start over? Just do plus and add the printer.
That's my problem because it can see the printer, and then it asks me to put a name and an ID and a password. But I choose guest and I install it. But it seems that the driver is not there, so I had to use a driver from a separate company, not from HP.
It's an HP. Is it a late model HP?
It's a LaserJet 6L. It's very old.
Yeah, that might be a lot of times when they do a new operating system, they delete older stuff. They feel like it's not going to be there. Did you have the LaserJet 6L drivers on OS 10.8? Yes. Okay.
That's the thing. So it seems that they don't support it anymore in this operating system. But maybe there was an independent company that has a driver.
Yeah. So the next choice, this goes back to the older days when Apple's didn't support everything, is something called Cups. It's a open source printing system. It was actually developed by Apple for OS 10, but also put in the open source and is used by Unix operating systems. It uses something called the Internet Printing Protocol. So it's cups.org. And it's really a good choice for older printers that are no longer supported. I wouldn't be surprised if that printer is there. Let me see. The chat room is pointing me to a discussion group message thread as well. Let me just see if there's something there. Discussions.apple.com. Apple says you can also use. Apparently they did dump this 6L. It's a PCL printer. So they said you can use the generic PCL driver. Wow, I'm looking at a long thread that says, I can't print with my 6L since the upgrade to Mavericks. Tell you what, we'll put this in the chat room. And another one that they're saying is GIMP Print, which is another alternative driver. At gimp-print/sourceforge.net, they have printers for 6L. Those are going to be PCL printers. That's the printer control language that HP LaserJets used to use. It's a 10-year-old printer. Another person in that discussion thread says that OS 10's generic PCL driver will work. So manually select the generic PCL driver. Those were classic printers, those 6Ls, and I don't blame you for not getting rid of them. But I also don't blame Apple for eliminating printers more than 10 years old from their automatic downloads. That's At some point, you have to cut this stuff off. Juan in New London, Connecticut. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Juan.
Hey, Leo. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing okay. Getting kind of cold over here in the East Coast already. So.
Yeah, winter's coming. As they say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming.
Sure is. I got two very quick comments and then a quick question.
Okay.
Well, first comment is regarding Kit Kat. Remember that they were saying that it might be called key lime pie at first?
Yeah, we're talking about so Android. Google with the Android, its phone operating system, does use desserts as the code names. I mean, they're real names too, you know, because for instance, the current Jelly Bean is 4.3, Android 4.3. But the code names are fun and they've become popular. In fact, there's a tradition that when they release a new version of Android, they get a statue made of that particular dessert and they put it on the lawn there at Google. So there you'll find a cupcake, a donut, an eclair. You'll find froyo, frozen yogurt. That was F.
Froyo.
Gingerbread. Honeycomb. I'm going through the alphabet. H. I would be ice cream sandwich. J was jelly bean. But then along comes, I'm a little actually disappointed that this Nestle, which owns the Kit Kat bar, they license it to Hershey in the U.S., but they own the Kit Kat license, the Kit Kat name. I'm not sure who went to whom. It's my guess that that Nestle went to Google and said, hey, I know that you got a K coming up. And the rumor was it was going to be key lime pie, which I personally think is fabulous. But maybe it's not well known outside the U.S. Maybe it's a dessert that others don't know. I don't know. But anyway, and maybe Google said no money exchanged hands. Yet I find it interesting that there are specially marked Kit Kat bars with gold tickets inside that have, I mean, there is definitely some money going on. And maybe it's
marketing.
It's marketing. And it sure has sold a lot of Kit Kats. In fact, after they did this, I noticed I was eating more Kit Kats than usual. I've had to put myself on a Kit Kat diet. So
and I was thinking also silly thinking, but I was just thinking 4.4, 2 Ks in Kit Kat. 4s kind of look like Ks if you look at them.
Maybe. I think mostly it's just that Nestle said, here's $1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Would it be so difficult for you to change the name of Android key lime pie to Android Kit Kat? Maybe they didn't. Now, Google said no money exchanged hands, but it doesn't have to be cash money on the barrelhead. It could be, well, we will be glad to give you $800 million in marketing for that change. And Google, why wouldn't they say yes? Except that I don't like it because it commercializes what it should not be commercialized. But anyway.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Very quick, and I don't want Heather's probably going to.
By the way, that's why they released the Nexus 5 and Kit Kat on Halloween, because it's candy.
Exactly.
Go ahead. What else would you like?
Real quick. I don't want Heather to kill me, but the other one was real quick. Just I also get made fun of when I go to friends' houses. They make fun because when they ask me what I want to drink, I say water, and they have all these other choices.
Good for you. Water's good for you. It's the universal solvent. It's what we're 98% of. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I drink water, too. I love water. My only problem with water, it was free. So when we moved to the country, where the water comes out of the ground in a well, I said, this is too cheap. I need to make this more expensive. So we went to Culligan, and we got thousands of dollars of water processing equipment. Now, the water's really good. We had to soften it because it had a lot of hard stuff in it, including iron, which is really not good for you. And then we got the polishing filter, the UV filter to kill any stray bacteria or parasitic devices. Don't want Jardy in your water. So now it's all pure. And then it comes into the kitchen. And then we have reverse osmosis and a carbon filter. By the time it comes out, it's really good. I have the best water in the world. Come over and have some water. I do think, because it's well water, and it's in a tank, you kind of have to put a little purification into it. What's sad is that the guys who owned the grow house for 3 years never serviced the softener they had, so it hadn't been softening in years. So there is a film of, solids on everything. Water is delicious. Yes, but the problem with reverse osmosis is slow, so we can't do it for the whole house. Just for we have 2 taps where the water is really good. It's always good anyway. Big Ginge, bit by bit, Wi-Fi is up. Sonos is up. Oh, Chris Marquardt. Get Chris Mark. Oh, there he is. I see him. He's already there. Sonos is working. TV in the living room and the gym is working, and Abby's room is working. Cable is working. What more could you ask for? The big one, the OLED is not working yet. That's in my den. That's I'm doing that last. I want to get everybody else all configured. Hey, Chris, what do you want to talk about today?
We are going to review an assignment.
Oh, I better get my mail.
Silent assignment.
I better get my mail.
Ooh, I'm so overexposed.
Typical photographer. Is that?
Yep, totally.
That might be my. No, you look good. That's my screen.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm sending you something usable.
No, you look good. It's just my screen is bright because it's.
Must be the hair.
No, it's set for sports mode probably. Let me set it for. Yeah, see, it's on sports mode. I need to set it on movie mode.
I should find some.
Now you look very noirish.
Ah, there we go.
See?
Yeah,
It's just using the right mode. All right, so I need to get my mail because you've sent me the links, I'm sure.
I have.
But where are they? Thank you, sir. When did you send it, Chris?
I sent it to your regular address.
No, when?
25 minutes
ago. It should
ago.
be here by now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. It went into notifications.
Ooh, okay.
You are important, but you're not a notification. Let's put that in primary from now on.
Can we have Kodachrome?
Yeah, can we play Kodachrome, Alan, if you have it? I don't know if you have it. You got it. Thank you, sir. Makes Chris happy.
Always does.
These are silent?
Well,
I guess
some
all
of them
pictures
don't
are
really
silent.
look as silent.
Our photography guru, Chris Marquardt, he is here every week to talk about digital photography, host of the Tips from the Top Floor podcast. He also hosts, of course, as it seems like every photographer does this, workshops all around the world. And you can go to discoverthetopfloor.com to learn about them. Not every photographer takes people up Everest.
We'll do that again next May. Yes.
That's one of the workshops. So welcome. Today we're going to review our assignment. So each month, Chris will give us a word or a concept that we need to illustrate. We need to go out and take new pictures. Doesn't matter what kind of camera. You can be a camera, phone, whatever. But the idea is to, get out there and take photos. Our word this month was silent. Or was it silence?
It was silent.
Silent.
Yes.
Not that that's important, but.
And I noticed that it wasn't that easy because some of the pictures I wouldn't really connect with silent.
All pictures are silent.
Well, yes, they are. But you know how the assignment before where we had loud and some pictures were really visually loud and taking a picture that is not just silent because it was silent there, but that kind of really depicts that gives you that evokes an emotion inside you. That gives you that feeling of silence, that feeling of quiet.
A number of people took sleeping baby pictures. That's quiet. That's silent.
That is perfect, yes.
Yep. Early morning light, There's some really nice pictures. What you do is people upload them to Flickr. We have a group on Flickr. You can see all of the submissions. It's the Tech Guy group on Flickr, flickr.com. But let's pick 3, Chris, as we do every month, and explain why you thought these were good photos. Now, I understand we're on the radio. But Chris is going to do it in a way that you can understand what he's talking about, and maybe it will inspire you for future.
I will do my best to describe what we're seeing. So the first one is by Tom Bang-Knudsen, and it's called Silent, and it's it's a person standing in a corner of apparently a museum with pictures on the wall. And if you've ever been to a museum with art, with pictures, those are silent places. But the way that really helps convey that silence in the picture is that, first of all, he's alone in this picture, so there are not multiple people there. He looks like he's in thought. The light is very good, so the light conveys that almost a bit of a loneliness there. And then
it's like kind of vignetted where it's dark around the edges and the corners, and that kind of brings it into like almost a cave, or
and even in the reflection in the floorboards, you don't see anyone else. So it's really just him there, and you can really imagine how it's a very silent atmosphere there.
I like it. Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Oh, the next one is by
Charlie Lewis, some lake in Kansas, and those situations when what we're seeing is a lake with trees sticking out, so it looks like something has been flooded, and the trees don't have leaves, so it kind of points you towards winter or fall, and there is fog, so you have this almost eerie atmosphere there with those, and it's black and white, so this eerie atmosphere. There are only these shapes kind of sticking out of the water in the fog. You can really get a feeling how this is really early in the morning, and no one's out there. You're all by yourself. There's maybe a little breeze or something. There's
ironically,
a bit of,
these
on the water.
pictures that illustrate silence so well, you can kind of hear them, can't you? You can kind of hear what that must feel like, and just the feeling of that.
Yes, and I mean,
funny.
silent is an auditory thing. So silence sometimes can be emphasized by just very tiny sounds and things. Yeah. So there you can really imagine that.
Well, I like this next one. This is from Fred McFred. I guess that's his name.
It's a picture that he took in Northern Ireland.
Oh, wow.
And it's Ballymoney, near Ballymoney. It's a road that kind of goes almost straight in the distance. All the way back, it curves to the right. And it's surrounded and overgrown by old trees. And those trees are just
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
He says, the color, he says they stumbled on it by accident. They didn't know it was a popular photography spot.
And it looks like a very typical Irish road. I've just been there earlier this year, so it's very authentic. And the way those branches grow over, and the way the light comes in from the sides. I mean, you see very good light in those trees, because there is obviously some space between the trees where the light can come in and shine on the road and on the trees themselves. And the way he got that was pretty clearly by using some form of a telephoto. If you have things that stagger into the distance and you want to kind of compress them and get them close together so they give you a bit of a crowded feeling, that's what you do with a telephoto. And
okay, that's interesting. So he could have shot this with a number of different lenses, a wide angle, a regular lens, but you're saying by stepping back farther and using a longer lens, it kind of flattens the perspective a little bit?
It makes things seem closer together than they are. Things that in the distance, that have a certain distance from each other. Have you ever seen pictures above people's heads, like in a big event with lots of people? And if you use a telephoto lens on that, it looks like all of them are almost the same distance from you, even though they aren't. So a telephoto lens gives you that. We call that a compression effect. It kind of compresses the depth.
That's good, because well, I'll give you an example. I was in Istanbul, and I wanted to take a picture of the Grand Bazaar, which is the first shopping mall. It's about 500 years old. And it's jammed with people just as far as the eye can see. And that's exactly the shot you want. You want to raise it above their heads and just see all those people. So a telephoto, as opposed to, say, a wide-angle lens, would be the way to do that. It would seem more crowded anyway.
Your first instinct would be, wide-angle. I need to get all those people on. But what you then have is a few people really big in the foreground, and all the rest kind of very far away in the background.
Right.
So it spreads them out. So learning about focal lengths and sometimes using something that's a bit counterintuitive can really do the trick and make a big difference.
Really neat. Really neat. So those are 3 excellent shots. Thank you, all of you, for contributing. We're going to give you a new assignment. Now, again, this is not a competition. There's no prize. There's no remuneration. The best that could happen is you get reviewed on the show. But it's mostly for you. It's mostly for us, a chance to get out there and take some pictures. So let us get our new assignment, Mr. Marquardt.
Well, again, a very simple word, fast.
Oh, boy.
We haven't had that in the past. I've looked, so I was really surprised.
This is good. This is good because technically this is tough.
It is, but it also leaves a lot open, so people have a lot of choice what they do. And what I want is, I don't want a picture of a fast car or something. I want a picture that gives you that emotion of speed, of fast.
It could be of a fast car, but it needs to communicate that it's going fast.
Yeah, a fast car standing in the driveway doesn't really...
That's not fast. Chris Marquardt, Discover the Top Floor is his website, discoverthetopfloor.com. Do listen to tips. If you like this, listen to Tips from the Top Floor. Chris does a couple of shows a week, and there's always great photographic information. I think photography has become a new democratic medium. People of all ranges, all types, have now the great technology, the ability. They have cameras with them all the time because of their smartphones. More pictures have been taken probably in the last year than in the entire history of mankind.
That's a fact, and it's wonderful that so many people all of a sudden have access to that. It's really democratized the entire thing. Everyone can now has access to really professional tools, and that really changes everything.
And you know, the fun thing to do is to not take the obvious, the mundane, the banal picture that everybody takes, but to I think with your photography to give people a new perspective on something they see every day. And have them go see it fresh for the first time. That's what I'm going to start trying to do. And I'm going to do this assignment. We're going to do fast. Upload it to Flickr. Put it on the Tech Guy group. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. A cheetah is fast. A liger is fast. Great.
A computer can be fast.
Computer could be fast. But how would you know?
Some computers are really fast when you drop them out the window.
James, I sent you, I forwarded you the email from Chris, so you can put those links up there.
Cool. Very good.
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew said, and I think this is the challenge, that we do a good job of balancing the fact that most of the audience is just listening, can't see the pictures, with the audience who is watching, because we have a not insignificant video audience, and so we kind of mix the two together. And
you know, I've been doing this podcast for 8 years now, and it's always been audio. Well, a few episodes in video, but most of that is audio, and it does work. I get people who love it when we talk about photography. That's pretty much what you have to do. It's a bit of a theater of the mind, the same way radio works with many other things. A good radio play will just conjure up so many great images, and you can really talk about photography, and it gives people the chance to listen to that in all sorts of different circumstances, as opposed to having to watch a screen. You can be driving, being on a commute, and still learn something. So
I think sometimes TV does a disservice because, you know, having worked for years in TV, everything has to have a visual. Yes. And TV is good at emotions, very bad at abstract ideas, because if you're talking about something that is abstract, you're going to illustrate it with something, but it's going to distract from the actual thinking of this abstract concept. So I think radio is better for abstraction than television is.
And it's just a different thing. I mean, the same with movies and books. Books will just do something completely different to you.
That's why I told everybody, read Ender's Game before you go to the movie. I'm going tonight. You know what I did, which was great? Audible has put a radio play version of Ender's Game. It was only about 7 hours, so it's shorter. And I think Orson Scott Card wrote the script for that, too. And so I had read Ender's Game. I think I'd read it twice. But I thought, before I see the movie, I'm going to refresh it. And it was wonderful. And it reminded me how much I like listening to audio plays.
No spoilers. No spoilers. I haven't
read the book. Don't go see the movie.
Seen it. Yes.
The book is so good. All right. Good job, Chris. Thank you.
Again next week.
All right. Take care. I've got to take a picture this week. Got to take a picture. Got to. I'm sorry. I keep potting you out. I apologize. You have something to contribute, and I am just...
Who, me?
I'm just blocking you from your natural expression.
But I agree. I'm like, I haven't taken a picture in a long time. I got to get
on
that.
What kind? Do you have a good camera?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Your iPhone. All right.
I took a great picture earlier today.
So you're on Verizon. You want to stay on Verizon. Is that right?
Who, me?
Yeah. Who are you on?
AT&T, and I'm happy to give it up.
So you don't mind moving somewhere else?
I don't mind at all. I think I might prefer it.
I want to order you a phone, but I think I need, in order to do that,
well, I need you
to log into your AT&T account unless you want to go to somebody else.
Shouldn't I switch?
I don't know.
T-Mobile
does it work okay
fine.
for you? All right.
Later.
Thank
I'm
you.
in no rush.
No, I'm in a rush. You need a better phone.
Okay, better. Can imagine.
Do you want to go to T-Mobile? That might be a good idea.
I'm thinking it is. I'm not unhappy except for the stuff that they did in the past.
You probably want to save your phone number, which means you need to go to do that whole thing, and I'll just reimburse you. How about that? Because you want to say you want to go to T-Mobile.com, you want to have your number ported over, order the phone from them, all of that, and then I will reimburse you, or I could sit down next to you and let me give you my credit card. What am I thinking?
What are you thinking?
Here, just take my credit card. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. That's the phone number to ask your question, make a comment, make a suggestion. We're talking about tech. Yes, digital photography, that's tech too. See, I think what's happening, it's very interesting. In the early days when I started doing this, as I mentioned, 22 years ago, it was all about what we called speeds and feeds. It was about what processor, how much memory, how fast the bus is, those kinds of things. Because it was the early days, the infancy of this technology, and we were all getting our heads around it, and the people who were using it were all enthusiasts who, really liked that kind of thing, specs. But it's changed now, hasn't it? I mean, really, everybody uses technology now. And it's much more about what you can do with it than how much of this or that it has. For instance, Apple, nowhere in its announcement of the new iPad, mentioned things like how much RAM or the clock speed of the processor. They mentioned the processor. Yes, we have the new 64-bit A7 processor, as if that mattered to anybody. All they really need to say is, it's faster. It's faster than the old one. It's lighter, it's thinner. And isn't that what Apple does every time, really? On any new device, it's always faster, lighter, and thinner. That's a given. It's always the best iPad we've ever made. And if it were worse than the old one, no one would buy it. So I think that's a given. We don't care anymore. It's about what you can do, what apps, how does the screen look? How does it feel in my hand? Those are the things we care about. And I think that's a big improvement. So I'm glad to be kind of changing the way we do this show and talk more about things like, digital photography, it's technology. But really it's all about the art that you create with it, isn't it? That's really what matters. By the way, I do have the new iPad Air. Just kind of buried the lead on that one. Yes, this is the new iPad Air I'm holding in my hands. It is thinner. Not a lot thin. It's like 1.4 millimeters thinner. It's narrower, and actually that's kind of an interesting change. That's probably the most important change in terms of how you use it. And it's much lighter. It's 0.4 of a pound lighter. So what is that? 6.4 ounces lighter. That's not insignificant. You really feel it when you hold it in your hands. But mostly because the old iPad was so heavy. It's not the lightest tablet out there. I think the Kindle is lighter. There are lots of lighter tablets. It is good looking, though. The screen is perhaps even better looking, and you really can tell that it's a faster processor. Things just seem to happen faster. Programs launch faster. Games seem more fluid. Even the animations that they built into iOS 7, you really see why they iOS 7 was designed for this, not the older stuff. So it's not, if you don't have an iPad or you have a fairly old iPad, an iPad 1 or 2 or maybe 3, this would be a worthwhile upgrade. If you have the last generation, the iPad 4th generation, I probably wouldn't feel compelled to upgrade. You've got 90% of what this does. But if you've never bought an iPad, then this is the one you'll get, and I think it's nice. They've done a nice job. I feel like this is a very nice, very usable iPad. I'm more interested, frankly, in the next one, the iPad Mini with Retina. We don't know when that's coming out. Apple still hasn't said. They just say sometime this month, which sounds to me like November 31st, but or is it November 30th? November 30th. That's okay. My birthday's November 29th. Hint, hint. Apple. Hint, hint. No, they don't care. I do think that this will come out late in November, and more importantly, I think the Retina Mini will be very hard to get. I think that's what's really going on, is that there's a real shortage of the Retina screens for that size, and Apple's just trying to make as many as they can, but they know they won't be able to keep up with demand. So if you want an iPad Mini with Retina, I do. I think that's for me the iPad I really want. In every respect, the same as the iPad Air. Same processor, same amount of memory, same storage options. The screen resolution is the same. The only difference is instead of a 9.7-inch screen, it's a 7.9-inch screen. That's interesting. I mean, it's just as fast. It's just smaller. I like that. I like a little bit of a smaller iPad that I can carry around with me. But you'll want to make sure that you jump on it. The minute you see it's available, you jump on it, because they will sell out in a day or two. I guarantee you. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. Juan on the line. Next, hi Juan. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hey, didn't get to finish my question, but my question is, I'm trying to get my girlfriend ready for the holidays. See about getting her an iPad Mini we were just talking about. But budget-wise, I might not be able to due to circumstances. But my backup plan was Chromebook,
or a Nexus 7, which is $229 and is, I think, in many respects, the equal of the iPad Mini with Retina display. It's the same. It's very high resolution. It's very inexpensive. I love the Nexus 7. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, that one too. The reason I was leaning towards the iPad is because she has quite a games she played maybe on the iPad that she already has.
Right. But almost all those games are also available on Android. They're not too expensive. The problem with the Chromebook is it's not going to play those games. It's Chrome. It's the Chrome browser. That's it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So you can only do whatever you can do in Chrome. That's it. Now, the advantage is you have a real keyboard. It's a little more expensive, about $50 more, but it depends if she's using the device for entertainment or more to get work done. If she's going to be writing papers or doing spreadsheets, you definitely want a Chromebook. If she's playing games, browsing the web, doing a little bit of light email, I think a tablet is a better choice.
Yeah, the Nexus 7, I actually tried it for a little bit because I'm visually impaired, and I was trying the accessibility on it to see how well it worked.
How is it?
And it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's come along. It's pretty close to Apple's accessibility.
Yeah,
very
good.
Very
yeah, I think. And this, by the way, the Nexus 7 will get the next generation KitKat in the next week or two. So by the time you get it, it will be completely up to date. Yeah. I think. What is she primarily going to use it for?
Some YouTube, Facebook, some writing, not many, but I was just trying to keep it as a backup and just know which one would you recommend.
I love the Nexus 7. I feel the Chromebook is a little underpowered and a little bit frustrating because it's just a browser. I would get the Nexus 7.
It's like a glorified netbook almost.
It is a netbook. It's a netbook minus an operating system. It's a netbook as if you could only run Chrome on it. That's exactly what it is.
Gotcha.
So I don't really, I'm not fond of the category. The place those Chromebooks do well are in places where the people who are buying the computers don't want the people using the computers to do too much. Schools love them because they keep kids from playing games. Businesses love them because they're cheap and their employees can't mess around. They're much more secure. They're really good in an environment where security is an issue. But I think the Nexus 7 is very secure too. I think the Nexus 7 is the way to go. I have a Chromebook. I have the Chromebook Pixel, the high-end Chromebook. It's nice. It's not a real computer. If you're going to get a computer, get one that you can do other things with. I love tablets. For playing games, I love tablets. For kind of quickly checking up on the news or reading a book. And I think really in many respects, all the tablets are similar. I don't think Apple really makes something so much better that it's worth twice as much money. I don't. $229 for a 7-inch Nexus 7. That's a great price. $399 for the iPad mini with Retina. Is it worth almost twice as much? I don't know. I don't think so. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. More of your calls right after this.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
He's gone. He's in Hawaii.
Leo didn't steal me or anything.
I would have if I'd known. I tried to steal you, but he said you can have her.
Oh, yeah. Dr. D will use you for some of your comments and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. To be honest, was I annoying? Yeah, but I've been watching him since KGO also. No, you weren't. Very sweet.
No, she was always great. Nurse Hammond. I'm not a nurse, but I play one on the radio.
Is that what you do?
No. So I tried to give her my credit card. She wouldn't take it. She says she has to do more research. Right? She has to do more research.
Lisa will buy something and I'll get blamed for it. That's what I think.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
How can I blame you for what Lisa buys? No, this is a company credit card. You can use this.
Oh, okay.
It's not my personal credit card.
Could I also treat myself to some of these blouses?
No. No. It has to be technology.
All right, so I'm looking up T-Mobile.
I let her try my Nexus 4. She was unimpressed. I don't think the Galaxy S4 would knock her out either, although I would give you my Galaxy S4 if you want. You could put a T-Mobile chip in it. But I had already committed. This is the problem. I already committed to give her my old iPhone 5 and then conveniently forgot and gave it to Lisa's son instead. So... I now owe her an iPhone 5S with a fingerprint reader.
Oh God!
It's really overhyped. I hardly.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice. You don't have to enter in a password anymore. No, she's not. I don't think she wants Android. I think she likes an iPhone. Some people do. Lisa's the same. She won't give up her iPhone.
I might feel stupid telling you this, but I'm not kidding when I say I spend $90 a month.
Yeah. No, I do too. I know. That's AT&T. So here's where you go.
That needs to come down, right?
You can get it way down. T-Mobile has a prepaid. Oh, Rob Ford. He's in trouble.
90.
He's in trouble. Mayor Ford. Mayor of Toronto, who the Toronto police claim they have a video of him smoking crack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Doesn't have to be a showstopper.
He's saying he wants the cops to release the video. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just crack. What? Marion Barry, exactly. Exactly. Same thing. But it brought down Barry, right? Didn't it? Yeah. He went to jail, I think.
But then he got out, I think.
And he got reelected. Same thing happened in Providence. We had a mafioso as president, Buddy Cianci. And then he had a radio show, and then they put him in jail. People love a roguish. People want the rogue. I need to act out more. How's Sprint for you? You could get a Sprint. Ting would be very affordable for you. That actually might be a good choice.
I wrote that down here.
You know, if you got Ting,
you guys were talking about it.
Yeah, if you got Ting, then you could help me with the ads.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Ting, I think Sprint's very good in San Francisco. It's not so great up here.
Again, it's more. Just need that Wi-Fi.
Yeah. No, you don't. You're pretty clear. You do not want an Android phone. You did not like that Nexus 4.
I didn't. Well, I don't mind saying.
That's as Android-y as you can get. All righty.
$450 with rollover is what I have.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's see here.
I have 2,300 minutes left.
Yeah, you don't talk on the phone anymore. That's what's happened. So let me show you the T-Mobile plan. It's only 100 minutes a month, which is kind of, not ideal.
I think I'd be fine with that. I just don't talk on the phone.
Right. But it's, let me see if I can find it here. I think you go to pay in advance plans. So at the very least, you'd save unlimited, because I have this, which is unlimited talk, text, and web, and it's $70.
See, that's awesome.
But you for $60, you get 2.5 gigs of data, and then it slows down.
But I could do 70. I mean, I'm not like all about like bringing it down to nothing or anything like that. I'm just like, I know I am in excess at this point.
Right.
And if I went down to 70, then that's still $200 a year that I get to.
So this one, here's this one.
Spend on.
No, that's no data. Here it is. Unlimited web, unlimited text, 100 minutes talk, $30 a month.
I gotta try that. I think that would work.
I think it would. 100 minutes.
And then I can always pop
Look
up
at your
later.
bill and see how many minutes you've been spending a month. Because that's pretty awesome. 5 gigs at 4G speed. She doesn't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody. We don't talk to each other. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about computers, cell phones, home theater, digital photography, anything with a chip in it. That's what we're here to talk about, to help you buy stuff that you need, get rid of stuff you don't need, how to use the things you've got, keep them working a little bit longer. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. We've been talking. Now, this is a good, Heather, this is a good conversation. We should do this in public. Heather is our phone ranger and currently is an AT&T customer, but your AT&T plan is $90 a month. Not unusual for a smartphone. You've got an iPhone 4. You've got unlimited data because you've had it for a long time. That's a nice deal, although AT&T will do everything, move heaven and earth to get you off that unlimited data plan. Oh. They don't like that. It seemed a good idea in 2007 when they released the iPhone, but they regret it now. You probably, and then this is one thing we've noted, and I think this is absolutely true of a lot of people. You don't make phone calls much anymore.
I don't.
You don't use all those minutes you've got. In fact, you've got thousands of rollover minutes because you never use the phone. So my advice for people, first of all, this is well worth, given the cost, seeing if you can find something less expensive. But my advice for people is to start with the carrier, because you might have a great phone and a great plan, but if you can't use it because there's no coverage in your area, it's not so good. Most carriers will give you a 2-week grace period, and you can bring it back and say, you know what, this doesn't work in my house. I can't, thank you, but no thanks. And they'll take it back. Ask, of course, before you buy, but most carriers will do that. They understand that you can't really be sure until you try it. If you can borrow phones or ask friends, find out, your coworkers, what do they use? Does it work well in the building? Your neighbors, what do you use? Does it work well in our neighborhood? What you're looking at is how many bars on the phone call quality, whether calls get dropped a lot, and then on data, the data speeds. If so, pick the carrier that offers the best across the board there, and then figure out what plan to use. Now, I do think T-Mobile for a lot of people is kind of the surprise underdog here. The problem is their nationwide coverage is weak, especially for high-speed data. But the prices are very aggressive, and that's because they're the number 4 carrier in the U.S. They have to try harder. So they have very affordable plans. And the plan we're thinking of putting you on, Heather, I feel like Dr. Dean prescribing something for you. Well, I think we're going to give you...
Leo, is this going to hurt?
A fast-acting painkiller. Instead of $90 a month, T-Mobile offers... By the way, this is off contract. This is month to month. A $30 a month plan that gives you unlimited data. The first 5 gigs is 4G speeds, and then it throttles you down after the first 5 gigs. 5 gigs is a lot. Unlimited texts, but only 100 minutes of talk. But see, you just told me you hardly talk anymore. Check your bill. How much do you talk now?
It says 253.
Okay. Now, remember that it's 10 cents a minute after 100 minutes. So you'd have to add another $15 or $20 for the amount of minutes you use. They have other plans with more minutes, of course.
Okay. So, but from what you're saying, $15.30, that's still half what I'm paying now.
Right. Even if you go over. They also have pay by the day plans. You only pay when you use your phone. $3 a day, unlimited talk, text, and web. Unfortunately, that throttles. And this is the thing. They say unlimited, and it's true. It's unlimited, but it's not very fast. After the first 200 megabytes, you go down to 3G or even slower speeds. 2G speeds. So, but I would, T-Mobile certainly is aggressive in pricing. There are a lot of choices out there. You got to figure out who is going to give you good service. Maybe not the best. Maybe AT&T is the best. It probably is in your neighborhood. But if T-Mobile's, good enough, boy, it saves you a lot of money. And then there are the MVNOs. These are people who resell service. People like Metro PCS. We talk about Ting a lot. They resell Sprint. They offer often not as good quality phones, but lower monthly rates. It's complicated now to shop around. I think you probably should get a T-Mobile. You want an iPhone, right? We're talking about getting an iPhone 5S.
I think that part I know, yeah.
Yeah.
This was the only other variable.
As you can see from what we've talked about, T-Mobile is the most flexible. They offer a broad variety of plans. And then the other thing, and we've mentioned this before, T-Mobile is the first, and this started this month, to offer free international data roaming in many, many countries. Now, it's not 3G speed. It's edge speed. It's slow. But it's free and unlimited, so that's okay. I'd take it. You got to figure out what you. Fortunately, you have a history. You can look at your bill, and you can see what do I need.
And I don't mind that it would be slow if it's international, because hey, I'm roaming the Champs-Elysees.
Right.
What do I care?
What you really want is, I got lost in the 6th arrondissement. I don't know where my hotel is. Quick, pull out your phone, launch Google Maps, and get directions. Okay, so it takes 30 seconds longer. You're going to get home. And that's true. I think getting international data is really important nowadays when we travel. In Paris, I use the Zagat guides to find great restaurants. Very reliable source. I use Google Maps to figure out, where am I? How do I get home? I was using Google Maps in Venice. They talked a lot about, getting lost. It's so easy to get lost in Venice. It's just a maze of alleyways. It's fun to get lost, but, you'll get lost. I never got lost. I have Google Maps. It told me exactly where I was and how to get to where I wanted to go. I like my T-Mobile, and I use, of course, I have everybody. I have Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Well, it's my job.
Yeah.
It's my job. I was doing an interview with our Indianapolis affiliate, and I said, right now I'm on the Moto X, but I think given where I'm going to be, you probably should call the HTC One. Let me give you that number. No, the Verizon iPhone, I wouldn't use that today. It's so it just, just depends where I am. 8888 Ask Leah. We have a very nice Telos VX phone system waiting for your call. The quality is, this is another thing, by the way, which we haven't started to take advantage of. T-Mobile, and I think other carriers are doing this, now have a high-quality audio available. Did you know that?
So you can buy first-class audio?
No, it comes with the phone, but you have to call another phone that supports it. This phone system does. We haven't turned it on yet, but I would really like to turn it on and see how much better it sounds. You can tell when somebody calls us via Skype. Sometimes it sounds a lot better, right? Yeah. Who should I pick up on this board here?
Where are we?
Where am I? You're busy thinking about phones.
I know. And which color to get? Sam in Acton.
I like it. Sam Acton, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi,
Sam.
Leo.
Hey.
I've been a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome.
Question for you. Microsoft is stopping the support for Windows XP.
Yes, in March.
In March. We have a server which are based on XP. After they stop the support, will the servers still be HIPAA compliant?
They'll still work, but what they won't get is updates. And that could be a security issue. Now, do you pay for a service contract right now, an extended service contract from Microsoft?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to want to move to a more recent Windows server.
Okay.
By the way, you're not alone. When you have a server and everything's working, why mess with it?
Everything is working fine. It's not just changing the server. Now we'll have to change the computer.
Yeah. But I can understand both sides. And some people say, it's just Microsoft's way of forcing you to buy a new version. But after all, how old is XP? It's more than 10 years old now. At some point, every company has to pull the plug. We talked earlier about Apple pulling the plug on certain printers. After a while, you got to move on. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Real Nerd Lewis, you are... Good Lord, these people have been holding for a long time.
When's the last time you saw a post office open 24/7, huh? Never.
But I do have somebody who's been holding on for an hour and a half. Bob in Bradenton, Florida. Then I have Yvonne. She's been holding on for an hour and 11 minutes. Sam was holding on for an hour and 22. This is sad. I never noticed this number before. This is horrible. I'm so sorry to you. I have to talk faster. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Walmart, Farmer T says, this is for you, Heather. The Walmart has a $40 a month unlimited plan from T-Mobile. So you go to Walmart, get your iPhone, and then get the $40 a month plan. It's
through Walmart.
Well, I'd like to read more. It says the family mobile deal. Let's read the fine print.
And do I get my mom on it?
Yeah, 2.5 gigs of 3G data. Does not include 4G, only 3G. And after 2.5 gigabytes a month, you'll go slowed down to Edge 2G speed. Requires a one-time starter kit purchase for each line, maximum 5 lines per account. Yeah, that's probably all right. I wonder if you can get an iPhone on that one.
Oh.
Let's shop now. Let's shop now.
We're shopping on the radio.
We're shopping on the radio. Shopping for Heather's new phone, Galaxy S3, S4, iPhone 5. Oh, I don't know if there's a 5S on there.
That was kind of a lot of.
It was such a good deal. There's a lot of. It makes me nervous when I see a lot of fine
right?
Print. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get bit. I'm going to find out. For instance, that's one that probably people wouldn't notice that, they don't have LTE, just 3G.
I'm a very KISS person. Keep it
simple. Keep it simple,
stupid.
silly.
Yeah, silly. Yeah. Sherman. Shylock. Soda
Keep
stream.
it simple, Sherman. I like it. Yvonne in Glendora, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Yvonne. Hello.
Hey, Leo. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
You've helped me with cameras and stuff in the past. So right now I'm looking at the Microsoft Surface Pro 2.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for is something more than a tablet, but the size of a tablet. And I really like the size of that. I really need to be able to use the Microsoft products.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to put Corel Draw, which is a graphics program, something like it. Okay, Illustrator.
Perfect.
I'm on the road a lot with my clients, and I'll have to pull over and try to find a computer at somebody I know or something to be able to zip out quotes and stuff. What do you think of it, and is there something else you'd suggest?
I think it's an excellent choice.
Okay.
Microsoft really learned a lesson from their previous Surfaces. The Surface 2 Pro, by the way, that's the Windows 8.1 Surface. The full version of the Surface is, in many, the battery life is phenomenal. You get 200 gigs of SkyDrive storage. It's a little pricey.
Yeah, which, if I have to, I would go ahead and do.
I am not of the opinion you should save money when you're buying a computer.
Right. And I agree, but and I tried to do research, and it seems there were a few others out there, but I wasn't sure how they matched up with it because I tried the Microsoft, and I have a friend that bought one of the earlier versions, and of course this one's getting better reviews, and they just love it.
Yeah, everybody I know who has a Surface 2 thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
Okay.
The only other one I'd look at, and it's the same price, by the way, although you do get a keyboard, it's more of a laptop, is the Lenovo Yoga.
No, I think I'd still stick with the Microsoft then. If we're talking same price range, that would be my guess.
Yeah. It's great. The Surface 2 Pro is fabulous. I'm just signing between the Surface 2, the Windows RT Surface 2, and the Nokia 2520. They're making a Windows RT tablet as well.
See, now the RT's with the tablet, though, so you can't really use the whole Microsoft programs with it, can you?
You can't put CorelDRAW on it.
Okay, see, and I'd really like to be able to do that, to be able to do quick mock-ups on the fly.
Right.
Okay, but at the RT, you can have the Microsoft products on there?
All comes with Office.
Really?
Free.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't. You can't install Windows apps on it. It's only those new Metro tiled apps, that's all.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just take the dive then.
Go for it, Yvonne. I think you'll be very happy, especially since you know people who have one and like them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Leo.
All right, take care, Yvonne.
Bye-bye.
Today, I consider myself... Oh, well. Playing with the echo a little bit. I don't know why that line echoed. I don't know.
Are you a Berliner?
Ich bin ein Berliner. Now playing number 73, Bob in Bradenton, Florida. You're next, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Leo, how are you? Remember you back from the old Tech TV 92. That's how long I've been on hold.
I was a young man. Yes, you probably have.
Yeah, that's how long I've been on hold.
I just realized how long people are waiting, and I totally apologize.
Not a big deal.
It's because I'm such a gabby Kathy. I apologize. I should just get on with it.
So many questions, so little time.
Exactly.
A couple questions. First, though, the main question I called for is, I have a Mac. I have a newer Mac. I just got it in the last 6 months. I've been a Mac guy for 1,000 years. I have the 10.8.5 Mountain Lion.
Okay.
They've just asked us to go up to Maverick.
It's free.
Is that okay? Is that a good deal or not? Do I really do that?
I like it. I moved every Mac I have, which is a considerable number, over to Mavericks. The way I did it, by the way, is to download it once, put it on a USB key, and then go from computer to computer. Don't download that 3.2 gigs more than once. That's crazy talk. Crazy.
Okay,
but
I would. The one computer I'm putting it onto anyway.
I think I would. The only time it's an issue, and they're very narrow issues. Well, for instance, the first call of the day, guy has a laser printer.
Yeah, I heard that.
From HP that is 10 years old. Oh, wow, it no longer works. Unless you have some, oddball software.
I got an HP LaserJet 1102.
You're probably all right.
Okay.
It's not 10 years old, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Anything modern. And, we even got his working. So anything modern and software.
So nothing's crazy going to happen with this thing when I download it.
The only issue is compatibility and with some older software and hardware. I would check if there's a program you absolutely have to have and it feels like it's a little oddball. Particularly, this is the case with line of business software, the expensive stuff that only your company and industry use. That tends to be not updated as frequently. Those are the things I'd worry about.
And let me ask you this then. Even if, let's say I do update it, I have everything backed up at this point, and there's another story to that. If I don't like it, can I go back? Or once it's on here, I can't go back?
No, you can. But you can't go back. You can't, roll it back. You have to reinstall your original version.
A Mountain Lion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that came on the machine.
That came on the machine. All right. So any recent Mac has there's a couple of great solutions. They no longer come with media, but they have a built-in recovery. They have a recovery partition, but you can even recover over the net. Command Option R. It'll recover. It'll download the version of the operating system that came with the computer originally. In your case, Mountain Lion, and install that. So you can always go back. Of course, back up everything because you'll be wiping off the hard drive first.
Yeah. Well, talking about backup, I have to tell you a quick story for everybody listening. I had my other Mac. I had it for about 6 years. I was backing it up to an external hard drive. Well, the thing puked one day. So I went and bought a new one, plugged it in. It was just like my old one was never gone.
Isn't that nice?
Unbelievable.
I like it when that happens. I think more and more because of the cloud, that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and I didn't use the cloud, and including all my internet spots were still on there. All my everything. It was just like my old computer was back.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Gunny man, what model computer? Because every Mac sold in the last couple of years has this network recovery, and it doesn't care what you got installed. It'll just go back. It'll revert to the version that you bought it with. But it's not the recovery from the recovery partition. It's a network recovery. It's as if the whole hard drive was erased. I know because I tried it. And it started with Mountain Lion. I'm sorry, it started with Lion. New Mac models introduced after the public availability of OS X Lion include the ability to start up directly from an internet-based version of the OS X recovery system. You basically are starting from the Apple servers. And my experience is it installs the version that your computer originally came from. Let's see if they say that. Yeah, bad BIOS is, we're going to talk about it on Twit today. I don't know what it is. It sounds a little sketch, to be honest. It's always fun to watch CNN try to cover the Pussy Riot story without saying the words Pussy Riot. The Russian alternative rock band known as I can't. It's just so much fun. That wasn't my experience. It rolled me back. Are you sure it will install the newest version? I'm talking about the internet recovery, not the recovery from the recovery partition. That is updated. All righty. I'm not sure how it would know that you'd updated. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Moving on to Lewis in Peterborough, Ontario. Hi, Lewis.
Hello, Leo. I'm a longtime fan. I actually do my own radio show on the University Radio Network, and on my application, I actually put your name to say you were the inspiration.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, that's how I got started in college radio.
Yeah, I actually interviewed Andy Walker a few months ago.
Oh, my old cohort, my co-star back in the Toronto days. Great guy. Really great guy.
What I want to ask is, what would you recommend for satellite internet for Sevierville, Tennessee? Because I've realized there isn't an actual internet connection, like an actual wired internet like DSL Extreme or anything.
Yeah, this is often the case in rural areas where it's just not financially viable to string wire, or you're too far from the central office, so DSL's not available. The cable company doesn't go out there. So there are a number of different companies that offer satellite internet. All of them have the same flaws in the sense that you have to buy equipment, often hundreds of dollars. ahead of time. And there's a lot of latency. If you think about it, your connection's got to go up to the satellite and back down. That means there's a lot of delay. So they're very poor for things like internet telephony, Skype, very bad for internet gaming. They're too slow. However, there's some good choices out there, some fast choices, faster than the old days of DirecTV, the Hughes satellite and Dish. My current favorite is called Wild Blue. Wildblue.com, and they're actually that's a brand name of Exceed, E-X-E-D-E, and it is. My experience has been it's extremely fast, and so it's not cheap. It's $50 a month for 10 gigabytes of download, up to, and that's the important word, up to 12 megabits per second. And then there's a fairly significant setup fee, but it's all you got. That's what you got to do.
What about things like, say, cell phone tethering? What would you say about that?
You should see if there's good LTE in your neighborhood. Find out how, ask the neighbors, how's the high-speed cell phone here? Because while it might be a little bit more expensive, and there will also be bandwidth caps on that, it won't be as latent. It'll be a lot better. And you could buy, I wouldn't probably use a cell phone tether. I'd probably get a MiFi card, one of those Wi-Fi access points that uses 4G data. So if you're in range of a good LTE signal, that's a good choice too. Typically $60 a month for 5 gigabytes. But speeds, depending on how crowded the band is, and in rural areas, it's probably not very crowded at all. Speeds can be very fast as land, and sometimes faster.
Two last things. One, what about, say, the T-Mobile unlimited thing? I know it thralls you after a while, but
yeah. Well, that's a good choice, but you got to check the connectivity in Tennessee.
Yeah. I've already researched all that, but I'm like, I respect your thoughts, and I was like,
I love T-Mobile. I'm a big fan. I've never hit the bandwidth cap, but that's what supposedly happens. You'll get LTE speeds until you hit whatever the cap is for your plan, and then instead of turning it off, as some companies do, they'll just slow you down. And then you just go to the next month, and then you're fine again. It's not a punishment. It's just kind of a limitation.
And one last question, because I would really kick myself if I didn't ask this. Would you be willing to come on as an interviewee on the radio show I do?
Sure. Send me an email, leo@leoville.com.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Congratulations. Good luck with your career.
I hope it'll last a long time.
Radio's been very, very good to me.
And I hope I can inspire someone like you've inspired me.
Thank you, Louis. What's your show about?
Geek culture, anything ranging from computers to science fiction, to comics, to whatever is really going on. I've interviewed all sorts of people in the industry.
That sounds great. Good luck. You should not only should we do an interview, but as soon as you get out of school, you should send me a resume.
Well, actually,
Are you moving to Tennessee? What's the deal with Tennessee?
Oh, I have family down there, and also, basically family, and there'll be more opportunities.
Great. Well, maybe we should talk. Just send me an email. We'll have that conversation off the air.
Okay,
thanks,
you
Louis.
so much.
Appreciate it. Yeah, always looking for talent. Talent's a hard thing to come by these days. That's what they call show hosts, talent. In probably the silliest misnaming ever. Talent? Joe in Austin, Texas. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, how you doing today, Leo?
I'm great. Welcome to the show. What can I do for you?
Got a question about, first time, long time follower, I guess.
Thank you.
And great show. I just discovered you on Roku a few months ago.
Right on, yeah.
Now I'm catching up with everything I need to catch up on. I am a PC tech myself, but got a question about cable DVRs.
Okay.
I'm trying to switch cable providers once Google comes to Austin, Texas. And I've got just a few things on my...
I'm so jealous.
Well, it was not starting off for coming to our area first, but if and when they do come to my area, I'll jump aboard.
Yeah, so the way they did it in Kansas City is they actually went neighborhood by neighborhood and said, if you can sign up enough of your neighbors, we'll install it in your neighborhood. And they got very good participation. Google offers it's gigabit that is 1,000 megabytes. I'm sorry, 1,000 megabits per second, both directions, very fast. And it's very affordable. I can't remember what the price is, but it's like 40 or $50. So, boy, if you live in that neighborhood, or if you have any way of getting it or moving to that neighborhood, I would. That'll be great.
Yeah, we actually got our neighborhood.
They offer television. You'll be getting rid of your cable company as well in most cases.
That's what I like, because even though I'm with the major cable company here, it's like the internet is real good to me, but then the cable service, their boxes, it's a headache.
They have I don't know why.
I'm with Time Warner right now, so
I have theories why, and I have conspiracy theories why. But we had these really good DVRs called TiVos. They were so great. But everybody gets a kind of lousy DVR from their cable company, and so
that's what I have. Yeah,
TiVo's still around, but just kind of not a big thing anymore because, well, the one that comes with your cable box is easier to use, even though it's vastly inferior.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. What I'm trying to do is find out if I can download what I have saved, a few items that I'm trying to archive. I don't do much DVRing, but when I do...
No, they prevent you from getting... The data's on a hard drive there, but it's encrypted, and they prevent you from getting it. The only way to record whatever's on your DVR and save it for later is using what we call the analog hole. That is, play it back as if it's going to a TV, and this will not work, by the way, over HDMI. You'll have to use your component cables. But record it. So you'll need a computer video interface that supports component. A number of companies make these. Plug it in, play back on the DVR as if you're watching the show, and then record it on your computer. And this is the analog hole because there's copy protection across all the digital channels, HDMI. But component, which is still high def, is analog. And so it's hard for them to block that. However, they figure, well, it's not going to look as good. We'll let you do that one. It's a shame. TiVo had a TiVo to go system. I think they still do, that allows you to do this kind of thing. But really, the companies that make the content, the movie and the TV companies, are terrified that you're going to, I don't know what, make DVDs and sell them on a blanket on your back lawn. I don't know. But they don't let you do this. They don't want you to do this. They think you're a thief. They think you're a thief. They're constantly saying, don't steal from us, you thieves. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. People often ask me, how do you keep... I would love to have a TiVo still, instead of these crap Comcast DVRs. Somebody told me that Comcast has a new set-top box, though, the X1. We did not get that. Who's your cable company, Murray? I think it's wishful thinking. The cable companies don't want TiVo. They want to control it. They want the crappy Motorola box. It's cheap. Oh, you have Verizon. Well, that's a different matter. Yeah, and good luck getting a cable card from your cable company. I'm kind of tired. Spent all of yesterday unpacking. Moving sucks so bad, and if there's anything worse than packing, it's unpacking.
Ooh, somebody give me a promo code.
For what?
T-Mobile. Should I just put in Ask Leo? See what happens?
No. We don't have a promo code for T-Mobile. I've been trying to get T-Mobile. I would love to get T-Mobile.
Okay, this is really adding up here.
Really? What are you looking at?
Well, I see $350.
Oh, how much data you use? How many minutes you use?
Well, that part's mine.
Oh, you're adding up the cost.
Yeah. $360.
Yeah, they get you, don't they?
And then I have $20 plus my plan for 2 years. The other thing is AT&T going to smack me for getting out of that plan 2 months early? Just 2 months.
Oh, you're still on your... Yeah, 2 months they may not charge you much. You should ask them. Actually, it's a good thing to ask them anyway, because they may say, you just say, look, I'm going to move because it's paying too much, too expensive. If I move now, what's my early termination fee? And they'll tell you. But they may also say, but how can we keep you as a customer? What could we do?
Yeah.
And they'll put you over to the retention people, and you might get a better deal.
I've heard there's no such thing.
Well, it just depends.
A friend of mine did this big Facebook post, and I don't recall the particulars, but they were basically like, see ya.
Yeah.
Thanks, no thanks. Oh, she paid late one time. She's like a big ad exec. She's busy. Whatever. They're like, yeah, we don't need you and your big ad exec dollars.
Bye. See ya. You could, they prorate, so it'll be 1/12 of your early termination fee, so it won't be that much. It might be $20 or $30.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Speak to retention
Carbonet Live.
specialist. The anal retention specialist.
An anal retention specialist. Anal retentive speculum. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo, last segment of the week. Next week, I'll be here with my Nexus 5 phone. We can take a look at that and the new KitKat operating system. Apparently, Google's put more Google goodness right there on the front page. We'll find out. Also, if you're watching on our live stream or you watch at twit.tv, do stay tuned because the folks from iFixit are here, and they're going to take apart this new iPad Air. We'll find out what's inside and what it takes to pry apart an iPad Air. My guess is it'll take a spudger, but we shall see. Joyce, Bakersfield, California. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Joyce.
Hi. I had a Dell laptop with Vista that I bought, I think, in 2008. And I don't know why, but 6-7 months ago, it just started not configuring the updates. It said it would install them. And I was real good about installing. And it wasn't so bad when there was just one update, but then it got to where there were 6, and it would just loop and loop and loop and say configuring 0% complete. When it was just one update, it would finally give up, I guess.
So you're saying these updates are not completing now?
Yeah.
That's a cause for serious concern.
Ooh.
Because you understand that the updates, Microsoft does these once a month, generally, the second Tuesday of the month. These updates are, in effect, an announcement to the bad guys that we got a problem. And the bad guys look at what the updates fix, and that they deduce from that the targets they should start attacking. And very often they find vulnerabilities that Microsoft's fixing quickly. So, in other words, if you get patches that you don't install, you are open to those attacks.
Yeah, I was real good about installing the update.
Yes, good. And now we got to solve this problem because not installing them is, as I said, dangerous.
Right. Well, I've since bought a new computer, which I was thinking about doing anyway, but I wanted to give the other one to my son.
Oh, well, here's the good news on that. You want to do this anyway. Wipe it off and start fresh.
Okay.
You want to do that anyway. You don't want to leave stuff on there. You want to give it to your son. That's very nice, but you start it with a fresh install, and then none of those problems will occur. In fact, what you'll tell him is, hey, here's a new computer. Make sure you run Windows Update till it's up to date. It's very important that he do that.
Okay, and I was thinking about updating to Windows 7.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would. Windows 8, it's the current version of Windows, so there's a lot to be said for it. But my opinion is that Microsoft is in a very awkward adolescence. They're making the transition from the traditional desktop operating system that Windows 7 is the pinnacle of, best version of Windows ever, I think, to a new tablet-based mode. They believe that tablets are the future. They may be right, but What happened is Windows 8 is betwixt and between. It's neither fully desktop nor fully tablet. It's confusing. There's 2 versions of Windows Internet Explorer. There's 3 different control panels. It's very confusing. So there is a reason to go to Windows 8 and 8.1 because that's the current version, and that's going to be the most secure and most supported. But I have to say, you're putting yourself through a little bit of pain because it's very awkward. So what I would do is I would get Windows 7, and I would wait till Microsoft grows up, gets out of those awkward teenage years, and then go to Windows 9, whatever the next version is.
Okay, now the Dell that I want to give to my son had a password on it, and when it wasn't configuring, it wouldn't even get to that password stage, to where you could get...
Yeah, see, I'm thinking that there's more wrong with this than just a blocked update. It sounds like there's maybe hard drive problems. Oh. So if you wipe it and reinstall, that password's wiped as well.
Okay. Good deal.
All right.
And that's what I'll do.
Good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yoshi, San Diego, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Yoshi.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. Well, they're not really questions. I just want to hear what you have to say about the Oculus Rift.
Oh, yeah, I have one somewhere. Maybe it got in the basement. So this was a Kickstarter project, interesting idea, to make a virtual reality helmet. You put it on your head, you look like a complete cornball doofus. And then when you turn your head, the view that there's 2 screens right in front of your eyes. And there's an accelerometer in the helmet, so it knows when you've moved and how you've moved. And it moves the image in front of you the same way. So you can go into an imaginary room in a game, for instance, and look around, look up, look down, look left, look right. Now, we've seen these things. I've been playing with these, it's called virtual reality headgear for decades. I mean, I think I first saw my first one at SIGGRAPH in 1991 or 92. I mean, a long time ago, more than 20 years ago. But as computers have gotten faster and more affordable, the technology's improved. The Oculus Rift's big advantage, and the thing that makes people go, wow, is it's instantaneous. When you move your head, the picture moves. In the older versions, there was a little bit of lag, and it made you seasick. Now, the negatives on the Oculus Rift, it's a low-resolution screen. They're currently the games that are using it are all demos. Nobody's really kind of jumped on it. They raised a lot of money. I got one. I don't see any groundswell of software being developed for it. Do you have one?
No, actually. I was contemplating getting one.
Don't.
So I just wanted to know.
It's a nice demo.
Okay.
It's completely useless.
Would you say I should wait for the full version to come out?
No, I don't. Well, I should wait. I would wait and see if anybody supports it. Wait till there's something you want to do with it. No, it's silly these days, unless you have unlimited money, to buy technology that doesn't have an application. Google Glass, $1,500. Why? If there's no use for it yet, wait till you say, oh, I need to do that thing. I want to play, Call of Duty Ghosts in a virtual immersive world. Then look and see how well it does, and if it does a good job of it, then buy it. But don't just buy it thinking that someday it's going to do something.
Okay.
Because it doesn't.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call. It's a good question. I love the idea. People are very excited about this. I've always been skeptical about virtual reality. I love the idea, and I hope they come up with it before I'm in the nursing home, because I look forward to the day where I could lie in my bed and walk around Paris and feel like I'm really there. I mean, that's a great immersive technology. It's a great idea. We're just not there yet. And I see no reason to be a guinea pig unless you have unlimited funds. You know, if you really think, hey, this is great and I want to support it, I want to foster its development, go for it. But I don't see a vast swell of software coming up to support it. It's a neat idea and well executed. I'm not even saying it's not well executed. I'm just saying don't run out and buy one on the idea that you might want it. In fact, they were quite right to do so. They sold these or pushed them on Kickstarter as developer tools, developer kits. It is, when you buy it today for $300, it is the Oculus Rift development kit and access to the software development kit, the SDK. That's what you're getting. You're not getting a product. Not yet, anyway. So that's a lot of money, $300. Now, if you're a developer, you want to write virtual reality video games, that's a different matter. Then it'd be cool. Hey, thanks to Alan, our musical director today, filling in for Nathan. Thanks, of course, to Heather Hammond, the phone ranger. And most importantly, thanks to you for joining me today. I'm Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. Have a great Geek Week. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy show for today. I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, the Tech Guy is just the tip of the iceberg. We do nearly 30 shows now on the Twit Netcast network, and you'll find them all at twit.tv. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on MacBreak Weekly, iPad on iPad Today. You get your daily dose of tech news from Tech News Today, and our weekly roundtable show, This Week in Tech. It's all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next time with another great Tech Guy podcast. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.